Green Bay, WGBW 1590 AM Denmark, W250 CV Green Bay, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Israel is still on high alert for a possible attack from Iran as ceasefire talks are supposed to restart tomorrow. Here's ABC's Tom Sophie Burridge in Tel Aviv.
President Biden asked whether Iran might hold off its attack if a Gaza ceasefire deal is possible.
That's my expectation, and we'll see.
Biden's Middle East envoy, Brett McGurk, rushing to Egypt in an 11th hour push to get Hamas and Israel to attend talks, but a U.S. official saying the odds of that happening appear to be low after Hamas indicated it would only accept a previous framework deal on the table months ago.
In a surprise move, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has announced that he will not be running for re-election and paving the way for the country to pick a new leader. Donald Trump heads to North Carolina today for a rally that his campaign says will be a significant economic address. Tropical storm Ernesto poised to become a hurricane after brushing past Puerto Rico late last night. This is ABC News. A big name in beauty, Avon Products, filing for bankruptcy as it faces lawsuits over allegations that talc causes cancer. If you drive a GM car, all that data it collects about you may be at the center of a new lawsuit.
Texas is suing the car maker, claiming GM violated the privacy of millions of Americans. Claims the company misled customers into sharing data about their driving habits by enrolling them in technology-enabled safety programs and then selling the information collected by those programs to data brokers. That data on customers' driving habits allegedly ended up in the hands of insurance companies, prompting them to raise some customers' rates.
That's ABC's Danny New. And yet another turn in the controversy over American Olympic gymnast Jordan Childs being ordered to give up her bronze medal in the floor exercises. It turns out that the head of the panel that ordered the bronze to go to a Romanian gymnast has represented Romania in other cases for nearly a decade. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At Civic Media, we encourage active political engagement and remind listeners to think critically about political advertisements you may hear during this critical election year. Our stations are licensed by the FCC and are required to accept all ads for federal candidates. We also air state and local candidates as well as paid ads from issue and PAC groups. Truth is rarely as simple as any political ad may claim. So again, we urge you to think critically about what you hear in the spirit of promoting authentic and respectful civic dialogue.
A lot of us were alive to remember. For some, it's just legend. The 1982 Brewers World Series run. Join us this Thursday, noon to 2 on the All Ball Show as we welcome Kelly Call, producer, and Sean Hanisch, director and producer of Just a Bit Outside, the story of the 82 Milwaukee Brewers. We're giving away 4 tickets to the Brewers game and 4 tickets so you can be at the world premiere on September 13th. Join us on Thursday.
The Todd Alba Show, weekdays noon till 2.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.fm.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Wisconsin voters say no to 2 questions to amend the state constitution. Here's Melissa Kay.
The executive branch will retain the sole power to execute all federal funds, as it has since 1930. This means when federal funds are directed to the state, the governor has the power to accept them and get those funds quickly to where they are most needed. I'm Melissa Kay, Civic Media News.
Rebecca Cook is the projected winner in the 3rd Congressional District Democratic primary in western Wisconsin. She was leading by 6 points at last check. Numbers were coming in much slower in the Republican primary in the 8th U.S. House race in northeast Wisconsin, where Tony Weed was up by 4 points. And that's what you need to know. I'm Terry Bell, and this is Civic Media News.
The Dodgers beat the Brewers again. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. LA Shohei Ohtani hit his 37th home run of the year in a 7-2 win over the Brewers at American Family Field. Ohtani now leads the National League in home runs. A rough night for the Brewers starting pitcher Colin Ray, who gave up all of the Dodgers 7 runs in 6 innings of work. The Brewers have lost 3 in a row. Manager Pat Murphy says his team is sputtering right now. NFL experts keep asking, do the Packers really have a true number one receiver right now? Matt LaFleur had this to say.
I get I want to vomit every time I hear number one receiver, to be honest with you. It drives me crazy. I feel like we got a bunch of them. So I think the beauty of them is they're all capable of doing many things, which gives us a lot of versatility from an offensive perspective in terms of how we use these guys and deploy their talents. They're all capable of being a number one in some capacity.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
Sunny this morning with clouds increasing this afternoon. We'll get into the low 80s for a high today with wind out of the south at 5 to 15. Showers and thunder showers tonight, tomorrow, into tomorrow night. Some locally heavy rainfall amounts of an inch or more possible. Our high tomorrow in the low 70s. Scattered rain will continue through Thursday into Friday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 60.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, it's Wednesday. That means it's time for Public Service Announcement with Dr. Laura Hanks. If you have a question for the doctor, just send it to janesays@civicmedia.us.
Matnair on air, weekday mornings at 10.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor.
Begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive.
And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Good morning! Happy Wednesday to you.
I think a lot of people feel that way after. I was up late. Election results. Did you follow that? I'm into that.
I did
sports.
not. I know.
Like playoffs or something.
I could vomit. I hate that. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of Matt LaFleur. I hate that answer he gave in that press conference. That's so demeaning to the media. The media is doing its job. It's asking legitimate questions.
Yeah.
And for him to say, I could vomit when somebody asks that question. Screw you.
Well, I don't know.
Do you have a number one coach? Do you have a number one quarterback? Do you have a number one offense coordinator? Do you have a number one defense coordinator? Screw you, Matt LaFleur, with your I could vomit if you ask me that question.
Todd, did you know what he's talking about?
Ticked me off.
Yes. Okay, yeah, because there was a question.
Todd?
There was a question
It's
asked.
a legitimate question.
And they asked, do you have a number one receiver? And a lot of teams have a number one receiver,
course
and they
you
get
do.
paid a ton of money, and there's usually a number one quarterback.
It's the highest paid guy.
Right, the second highest paid guy, and
outside
he was
the quarterback and the left tackles.
And he was like, I could vomit when you
That
he really
is
put the
so
press down.
insulting to the guy
He could have
asking
said,
the
look,
question.
we have a lot of number one receivers or something.
Absolutely. But it basically said, you're so stupid,
Right.
you make me throw up by asking that question.
Right.
Oh, he's getting a little big for his britches.
It was a misstep for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he's got a
I
pretty
could vomit.
He's got a pretty good reputation.
I got something to make you vomit. So anyway, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm not.
I'm so impressed with you.
How's that?
For coming to Cholesterol Fest.
Yes,
This is a true story, and I showed you on my phone, and I talked to Todd about it this morning. When people go into marathons, where they're training for marathons, they carbo load, pancakes, pasta, spaghetti, all those things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I did the exact opposite, preparing. You saw I walked like 6 miles. I walked 2 hours yesterday.
In preparation for this party we went to.
Cholesterol
And I'm working out today. I'm all signed up, so I'm 10 o'clock. But
you want to tell you something
that was not the healthiest food, but it was
the most delicious food.
I will say this, Johnny. That was 50 people there. Or how many? I don't know.
There's like
100 people. Okay, well, I wasn't there that long. But that camaraderie.
Some of the coolest classic cars.
It was a car show. Yeah. But the camaraderie is, we talk about living a healthier life.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the food would check the box there, but the camaraderie keeps people healthy. I mean, those guys were having so much fun together, catching up on old times. And that's part of living a healthier life, is getting together with, your friends. And you could tell that was a little bit of a reunion. And I don't know what the common thread is between all of them, but boy, they sure got along. That was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Everybody's got their group, their little, that's my group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's my guys.
You're a little younger, but
I am, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
you relate to those guys like you.
Yeah. It's just,
and So just for our listeners, Johnny goes to this, and it's the first time I went. It's called a cholesterol fest, and it's rightly named. They take pork shoulder.
No.
Right? No?
Side pork.
Side pork.
Which I'm eating right now.
We brought Todd some.
That's really good.
Is that something, Todd? You've got it right there. And that homemade bread that was made that morning?
I'll try that. My dad used to make side pork.
Oh,
and
no
it was
kidding.
good. And it was good. But this is better than even his.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So the guy.
Watch out for the bone, though. It's like a really sharp bone. But that's part of the deal. And I put something on my Facebook where the guy says the most tender meat and tastiest meat is closest to the bone.
I did.
So that's where they keep the bone in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that great?
My gosh, yeah.
Did you guys raise pigs?
No.
Oh, okay.
But so, yeah.
Jim,
watch out.
Jim asked the guy, "It's some of your, how long ago is this thing walking around?
How fresh is this?"
Yeah, and so this guy stands over this boiling
deep
fried
fried
oil, and just dropping that in there, and his sweat's dropping in there. It's like,
But you know what?
He was working.
You had to be really quick because as soon as he put it on the
Totally.
platter,
It was gone.
It was gone.
People, that is true. You had to grab. The stuff we got, we had to go in there and kind of scarf it up right away. And then they have, besides this homemade bread, and I think that's what we got to dig a little deeper on. How he made that bread. It's unbelievable, right, Todd?
Oh, it's very good.
That bread is really, really good bread. And then after, didn't see the salads, but then at the end,
You didn't see the lettuce they brought out?
No fruit.
You didn't see the vegetable tray?
No. Must have been gone by the time I got there because all the fruits and salads were gone when I got there. And then they have this dessert, which is unbelievable. It's that, I forgot the name of that, but it's got that yellow like cream in there, and then it's got white cream on top, and then chocolate, and just
the one with the peanut butter cups.
Yeah,
or the
and
other,
the other one was
yeah.
And yeah, that was fun. That was a good time, and it was I just didn't. Nobody drank too much or anything. It was just a real social event.
Absolutely. It's not like a drunk fest or anything like that. I mean, they're all, it was just great. Like I said, I think that's really healthy for those guys because they sure got along. How about what the guy built, my buddy Jimmy Umentum, what he built on his, what used to be a chicken coop or whatever in his barn, where they call it Jack Ash Lounge, where there's a bar that had closed down, and he took the actual bar and the big mirror and everything, and he put it in this barn. And then all the things he's collected over the years from auctions. Isn't it fantastic?
So, people have, they call them man caves, where the guy goes and chills maybe by himself or with his friends. That thing's unbelievable. He could open that and be a bar.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's that big and that decorative and that comfortable, and people playing cards. He's got a bar in there.
Did you see the birdhouse in there that I made him?
No.
You didn't see it? No. He had it displayed.
Yeah. No,
it was with one of his license plates.
Well,
that I took from because he was a Purple Heart veteran of Vietnam.
Oh, but yeah, it's got great digs out there. I think that is.
I would love to have a place like that, wouldn't you?
That's close to off the grid. I mean, that's because he's got the barns. I don't know how much land he has, but he could survive out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I would love to stay in that place. I was talking about I want a place where there's a big snowstorm and it's. Wouldn't that be great to be in his Jack Ash Lounge during a snowstorm, playing cribbage or whatever, and sitting at the bar.
A lot of that going on. Yeah. It was. Those are great parties, and it was just they do it every year. They just do it.
Oh yeah.
It just there's really no.
And now you're a member.
He just. I'm going to send him a thank you note. I grabbed his address. So, that was nice. They invited me. Don't know. I think I'm going to wear different shoes next time. I don't know that.
Did you wear your dress shoes?
Yeah, I came from work. I was at the. So I was. I'm going to wear super.
You're kind of that guy at the party that was overdressed a little bit.
Who's that nerd?
Because why you had sleeves on. Most guys had cut off sleeves, didn't have sleeves on
right.
T-shirts. Yeah, it was great though. Yeah, but so Todd, we brought you something, a little Tupperware thing.
Yeah, good stuff.
Great,
thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that was
great time.
That was a good time.
So that's how we spent our day yesterday.
Yes,
but I was telling you though too. So I went for that really long walk yesterday, and I left the trail. Like I said, the trail ticks me off because these people on these bikes just zoom past you and they don't say left or anything and just cut right in on you. That's why I straddle the line. I want to. But anyway, so then I walked. I cut up. Actually, you know where I walked through the cemetery.
Yeah.
I cut across up through. Is that Nicolay Cemetery or whatever it's called? Alloy Cemetery, whatever it is. It's where Curly Lambeau's buried. They got that thing.
Okay, right.
Okay, so I walked up through that, and I'm always fascinated, I'll be honest with you, by cemeteries. When I see the veteran type things in the war. But anyway, so I walked all the way through that, and then I walked all the way down Webster and cut through the whole Astor Park. And I've never walked it before. That was fascinating. I felt like I was on a tour. I've driven through there or whatever, but I've never walked it where you really look at these houses and appreciate the architecture on these houses. It's spectacular.
Yeah,
it's like I've lived here for 30 years or 40 years or whatever. It's like, why did I ever walk these neighborhoods before?
Because they're not a drive-through neighborhood. Those aren't main streets. They're kind of off the beaten path. But yeah, you get back there, and it's those houses are beautiful, and they're well maintained.
Oh my gosh!
On Quincy and Adams and not Adams.
All of those. I can't even tell you what streets they were, but it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Look at this house. Look at this house.
Yeah.
Look at this house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're great. And there's the thing is, besides look at the house, Johnny. There's history in those homes.
That's what I mean.
Like the guy. The first postmaster. That's that kind of stuff. There's just that kind of history in because there was no Hobart. Remember we had that guy on here from Ledgeview? What did he say? 80% of the homes were like less than 20 years old or something?
Well, when I moved into Ledgeview, we built in 2006, and when I walked the property, it was still a farm field.
Right. And now it's 2006.
Wow. Now there's hundreds and hundreds of homes there.
Yeah. And but that was Green Bay, so I had a lot of people lived in Green Bay because that was the nicest part of Green Bay. And now there's a lot of nice parts of Brown County.
But I love that, we've all been in other cities where those areas that close to the downtown are blighted.
Well, they get converted into 2 and 3 family homes.
You know what's weird, though, Jim? It's like, okay, so that part, everybody's really restored them really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other parts here, within walking distance of here almost, just the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful homes, but you got those landlords, those absentee landlords that just destroyed them.
Mm-hmm.
And destroyed the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. No, they did. They converted those, and you can't do that anymore. I think I'd put a stop to that. But, yeah, it's too bad, and it really hurts the person next door.
Oh, my gosh. A couple bad houses on a block.
Done.
Block is done. Hate to say it, but it's true.
Everybody say, your home is your castle type thing, but, boy, you really want a good neighborhood. And we have that where I think there's a lot of great neighborhoods, but nothing wrong with some rentals, but some rentals, if they're
well, if it's a local landlord where somebody can call and say, hey, come on. But when the guy, I told you the time when we went around, we had that
West Side,
Green Bay, live here, love here, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'd go to these people, we'd literally knock on their houses. We would send them letters and say, hey, would you be interested in selling? Because we want to put them on the market and fix them up and kind of revitalize neighborhoods.
There's some grants.
And we're like, hey, who's your landlord? I don't know. I send my check to a post office box in Chicago.
Yeah.
So they don't give a crap about whatever.
And it's hard for us to chase them down, too.
Absolutely.
It's an LLC.
Yeah. But these, I have so much respect for the old home builders. Like when we had the guy in here yesterday from the new Veterans Village they're building in Green Bay.
Right.
And, their carpenter, Kim. And I said, man, I always wanted to be a carpenter. I'd give anything in the world to go back in time and be a carpenter. The craftsmanship of those carpenters, there were no table saws. No. There were no circular saws. No. There were no... And it by hand. Every board was a saw.
Yeah.
A hand saw. The craftsmanship, man, you got to admire that.
Yeah, and and they use different wood, but bird's eye maple and some really
the
cool
wood was so much better.
Yeah.
It was old growth.
Right.
Yeah, so it didn't warp.
To buy those houses, but you don't want to go buy a house and stick, a ton of money into it if the neighborhood isn't strong.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You never get your money back.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, it's Wednesday. We got a great lineup coming up for you, folks. Stay with us. Maino and the Mayor. Back at this.
You always try to bring me down. Oh, but I know, girl, believe me when I say that you are surely gonna be, girl, but it's all right. All right, girl. You can hurt me, but it's all right. Hey, now one day.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
This is John Maino.
And I'm Jim Schmidt, and together we're Maino and the Mayor on the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, 97.9 FM and 1590 AM, weekday mornings.
As our audience grows, we're looking to find an experienced outside marketing professional to join our civic media team to work with local business owners who want to grow.
Not only does WGBW reach qualified radio listeners, we help business owners reach customers on their mobile phones, tablets, even on screens at the gas pump.
The person who joins our team needs to be as motivated as we are to bring great local radio to Green Bay and Northeast Wisconsin. Someone with a creative streak and no fear of introducing themselves and us to the Green Bay business community.
If you're listening to us now, imagine how many others are and how we can help business owners reach the customers they want to do business with.
To apply, email me directly. My name is Chris Morrow, Vice President of Sales. My email address is chris.moreau@civicmedia.us. chris.moreau@civicmedia.us.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay.
He'll treat you bad and make you sad, and you will ruin the love you had. Oh, but I hate.
Hey, welcome back, Maino the Mayor here, 97.9 FM, WGBW, 98.3 FM, WISS, and of course the Civic Media app. 61 degrees in Green Bay, 66 in Appleton, 61 in Oshkosh. Wasn't yesterday afternoon about as perfect weather-wise as you could possibly ask for?
That's great.
Yeah.
It was
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No humidity, which is really, really nice.
You know what I want to do? I want to be an agent, a talent agent. And I want to be an agent for that young meteorologist we had in here yesterday. 23 years old with her spunk, her personality.
Lauren Larson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be, she could go as far as she wants to.
Yeah.
She could be like major network.
And she likes to do stuff too, right? Drive the speedboat. I mean, she likes to get out there a little bit, which is more than just, she's got a great personality. She's 23.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Oh, my God.
As we said, you got shoes older than her. So, yeah. Wow.
Today is National Calligraphy.
That fancy writing?
Calligraphy?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that?
It's like fancy writing, you know?
Okay.
Like,
there's all sorts of,
like when you get an envelope for a wedding or something.
Oh, okay.
It's calligraphy.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
and there's people who are really
Do they
really
even
good
teach
at
that anymore in schools?
I don't even know if they...
Palmer. We had the Palmer method. Remember that? When
No.
they'd have, that was the of
Palmer?
cursive
That
yeah.
we had.
And then you'd have the whole thing lined up along the blackboard. How to you had to
with
make your
the dot-
B's
the dotted
exactly
line.
this way.
Yep.
Yeah.
For halfway? Yeah.
Do they still have those?
I don't think they do.
Do they even teach that
No,
anymore?
cursive is no longer taught.
Wow.
It's going to be secret writing someday.
Isn't that something? Penmanship. I mean, you'd get graded. I remember you'd get graded. I remember the one thing is the nuns always wanted to have you where your the back of your hand was like vertical or was horizontal. I could never do that.
We didn't learn that way.
No? Okay.
So you had to bend it around?
You had to have it like this when you wrote. It was weird. I never.
Wow.
No,
I just remember
I got C's in
getting
penmanship or
drilled into
D's.
how to hold your pencil.
Yeah.
Between the fingers. And all
Yeah.
that. But that I remember that part, but I don't remember the.
So they don't
horizontal.
even teach
that-
penmanship anymore. There's no such thing as a class.
I don't know that. I don't know that they don't teach cursive writing anymore. But if they
elementary
don't,
school teachers, let us know.
If they don't, I think that's kind of cool because then some kid could learn it and send his girlfriend a note and have their parents decode it. It's just cursive writing. Wow.
Did you ever send a girl a note?
Of course.
Yeah. Everybody did, right? Todd, did you? Did anybody ever send a note that got a positive result? I never did.
That's a different question.
Hey, I like you. No response. Forever.
I had a girlfriend in middle school. Her name was Lisa.
Okay.
And probably one of my first ones. And I got her this really cute little necklace for Christmas. It was a crystal cube. Okay. Just kind of different, whatever. And it was one of those, I like you, do you like me note passing in class.
Right.
So at any rate, we broke up. I don't even remember what happened. But in recent years, we've gotten together to go out and have dinner and stuff like that. And she actually went out and bought a necklace that looks like that.
Wow.
And wore it when we went out.
You made an impact.
Hello, Todd.
I've been thinking of you since the day you sent this to me.
Wow.
I don't
Look
know.
at you.
Okay.
I like you,
All
ladies,
right.
man.
A little fewer questions when we go to break here. That's awesome.
It's always those quiet guys.
I know. They never say anything. It's like,
always those quiet guys.
I know.
At my class reunion a couple of years ago, I'm sitting at a table, and you start funning around and having fun, whatever. And I went around the table, and all the girls that I went out with, like all of them except one, were people that I had dated in school.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fun.
Wow.
Says two things. Either I was really popular or I couldn't keep a girl.
One of the two.
Or both.
I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Wow. And there's so much.
You know what I used to do at lunchtime? I'll be honest with you on something. When I was in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
Girl from the public school. We used to meet in the back of the church and make out at one point.
Public school girls were a little. They were a little.
Oh, yeah. Catholic school's girl did. But I had a public school girlfriend when I was in the 8th grade. Oh, yeah. You had to have that. Yeah.
Okay.
You're the Mac Daddy when you get a public school girl.
Good morning.
Today is also Lizard Day. All right. I that's another one of those things like having a snake for a pet. Why would you have a lizard for a pet?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't. Those hook me out. Lizards do.
But they don't bite, right? Lizards?
Some do.
Really?
Oh, in Arizona they had the. It's one of the deadliest things you'll find. It was a Gila monster. You ever hear of Gila monsters?
Yes.
No. They are deadly. Deadly. My brother had one in his yard in Tucson not long ago. They will kill you if they bite you. They've got small mouths, but their venom is crazy. And once they latch on, you can't get them off.
Our news person, Lisa Hale, has a lizard kind of thing.
As a pet?
Yeah, but
Like in
she
an
also has
aquarium?
spiders, too.
Did she let the lizard walk around the house?
Spiders as pets?
Yeah, she's got some tarantulas and stuff like
Oh,
that.
All right,
my
that's weird.
God. I wouldn't sleep in that house.
No.
Well, I agree. Wow. And yeah, they leave the lizard kind of crawl around and it'll lay on their chest while they watch TV.
I'm not a fan of that at all. Creamsicle Day. Love creamsicle.
Oh, yeah.
Do they still make them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't think they're as good as they used to be.
Not as sweet. Nothing is.
Yeah.
Even. I mean,
Three old guys.
Who's this old lady? You know what? In my day,
Nothing.
you'd buy a Hershey bar for 5 cents, and it was so delicious. Now you know what? It's like $8 for a candy bar, and it
Tastes like chalk.
tastes like crap. It tastes like those chocolate things your mom used to get for baking. Remember
Yeah.
those?
Oh, yeah. That when it was. But that's baking chocolate, and that we always thought it was like sweet chocolate,
And it was terrible.
It was awful.
It was
awful.
bitter.
Was,
You have
kept us
those,
away.
Todd?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or are you too young for that?
No, we had that.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, I think though that'd be interesting because creamsicles were great, and I don't know if they've taken a little less quality ice cream or something, but I don't. I'll agree with you. I don't think there's
Nothing's like as
used, but
sweet
maybe
as it used to be.
I don't know. Maybe we're. I don't know.
But I don't.
But I wouldn't. Yeah, those creamsicle day. Yeah, would celebrate.
Man. Hot day at the gas
Oh, yeah.
station. Georgie Peckeren's gas station. That was just the greatest thing in the world.
We used to eat sherbet out of toilet paper rolls. Remember those push-ups, right?
Yes,
push-ups.
Push-ups.
Absolutely. Those were great.
Those were awesome. Did you have
Fudgicles? Remember Fudgicles?
Yeah. Did you have the dilly wagon that drove around?
No.
the neighborhood?
In my neighborhood. Are you kidding me?
We did.
Oh,
It was
God.
great.
No.
The guy coming in that little 3-wheeler thing
Yeah,
with a little cart on the back, stopped, wearing white.
No.
In John's neighborhood, if you heard the banjo coming down the road, you ran the other way.
Yeah, no.
That's where we would get a lot of that.
Really? Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you're a city guy.
Yeah.
No, I was in the country. Birthdays. Tim Tebow is 37. You know, that guy has tried so hard to make it, and he just hasn't. Halle Berry, 58. You don't hear much about her anymore.
Not much.
She was awesome, though, when she was younger in some of the movies. You ever see Monster?
No.
Her and Billy Bob Thornton. Great movie. She was awesome. Susan Olsen, is that from Little House?
She was Cindy Brady on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, the middle one?
No, the little one.
Oh, the littlest one.
Yep, in curls, yeah.
She had that lisp, eh?
Yeah.
My I'm going to the
But she's 63, John.
She's crazy.
God.
Magic Johnson, 65. Rusty Wallace, 68. Susan St. James, I used to like her.
Oh, yeah.
She was on that show
she's
with
great.
Rock Hudson, right?
Macmillan and Wife.
Macmillan and
Right,
Wife.
yeah.
I liked her. Susan St. James. Steve Martin, 79?
He is.
Boy, he's funny.
He
That
is
dude
79?
He is.
Wow. Oh, and look at this. 1953, the wiffle ball was invented.
That's right.
Oh, we just talked about that.
And I was watching a thing where a guy can throw a wiffle ball over 100 miles an hour.
Dang it.
I would love to play in one of those games. Yeah. Maino the Mayor! Full lineup coming up. Stay with us.
And he's holding her in his arms late at night. You know, I wish that I had Jesse's girl.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW. You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
College campuses are starting to come back to life across the state of Wisconsin. I'm Pam Yonke. Time for a quick update on what's happening in food and farming news on a Wednesday. And we're monitoring how the agriculture enrollment looks at many of our state colleges. Some updates next.
Beef producers, make plans now to attend the Stockmanship and Stewardship event in Lancaster on August 28th and 29th. This will be an action-packed agenda featuring topics from cattle health and well-being to pasture management and land stewardship, complemented by low-stress cattle handling demonstrations. From cow-calf to feedlot topics, it's covered and close to home. Go to www.stockmanshipandstewardship.org for more details and to register.
Tara Montgomery is the director of the School of Agriculture on the UW-Platteville Pioneer Prairie campus. She said right now they're expecting around 525 students for the fall term, which begins just weeks from now. She said many of those students already have some educational experience under their belts.
It's been really encouraging to see the number of students who have maybe started somewhere else and weren't really sure what they wanted to do and have found a focus in agriculture. Sometimes it's because they've had an experience maybe in an internship, or a lot of times it's because they weren't really sure that they wanted to go back to the farm and then started to realize that, agriculture has a lot of cool technology and is really crucial. And so when we look at agriculture, it's amazing to think, we're always going to have to feed the world, but we also have to think about things like sustainability. And so a lot of students are circling back around to figure out how can they help.
Tara Montgomery, she's the director of the School of Agriculture on the UW-Platteville campus with strong expectations for fall agriculture enrollment.
Learn how to benefit your farm with Compeer Financial's Navigating Tech Investments Agri-Mindset webinar on August 21st at 1 o'clock. Sign up online at compeer.com/register for this powerful webinar to benefit your farm on August 21st at 1 o'clock. Go to compeer.com/register now to get the most out of your farm's tech investments on August 21st. Compeer Financial is a full credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
And celebrating some of Wisconsin's machinery history. That's what's coming up this weekend for the 61st Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club Show that's going to be held just outside of Baraboo. They're hosting the J.I. Case Heritage Foundation 38th Annual Exposition. Find more details at badgersteamandgas.com. And don't forget, this is day number 2 of Wisconsin Farm Technology Days, that big event happening in Cadott at the Country Fest Music Grounds. WIFarmTechDays.org has all the details on that big event. And that's a look at food news for Wednesday. I'm Pam Yonke.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Sunny this morning with clouds increasing this afternoon. We'll get into the low 80s for a high today with wind out of the south at 5 to 15. Showers and thunder showers tonight, tomorrow, into tomorrow night. Some locally heavy rainfall amounts of an inch or more possible. Our high tomorrow in the low 70s. Scattered rain will continue through Thursday into Friday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 60.
Captime's Idea Fest is back for a week of powerhouse speakers and sessions exploring important local and national topics. September 15th through the 21st in Madison. This year's guest speakers include Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, former member of Congress Liz Cheney, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and historian Heather Cox Richardson, along with many others. Idea Fest brings together changemakers to discuss Wisconsin's triumphs and failures to help reach a better state. Purchase your tickets today at captimesideafest.com to join this premier thought festival.
Hi, it's Jim Schmidt and John Maino from Maino the Mayor.
Join us live on location Tuesday morning, August 27th from 6 to 9. We'll broadcast from Simple Life Hospitality's Green and Gold Party House across from Lambeau Field. Even the Packer Band will be there.
Can't make it in the morning? Swing by their open house from noon till 6. Enjoy snacks, sign up for prizes, and take a tour.
Love what you see? Well, then be the first to book the house for your Green and Gold Bash before somebody else grabs it. That's Tuesday morning, August 27th, live from 6 to 9.
See you there.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor. And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back, Maino and the Mayor. We got Ryan Lambert from Midwest Restoration coming up in a little bit. Ben and Deanna Malcor, of course, from Bay Area Realty. Always have a great time with them. Right. Keith Pamperin from in a great organization, Challenge the Outdoors, which is fantastic. And Terry Barr, of course, Slice of Wisconsin. She brings energy to the table, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. Well,
she's awesome.
Yeah. And I've worked with Keith for years, and it's going to be. He just kept it going, even though he, you know, is wheelchair, cane and wheelchair. But he, he just there's no stopping these guys. They're hunting.
Like, they're defiant in a really good way.
Exactly, and they're good examples for the rest of people who have some
fantastic
challenges.
Well, we got to do it. I always say I'd never, ever, from the day one when you wanted me to do this show, I said I'm not talking politics.
You did,
unless it's the biggest story of the day. So here we go, post-election.
Yeah,
your views.
Were you up late? Waiting?
What do you think? After Cholesterol Fest, you think?
That is true. That is true.
I just want to say one thing, though. My buddy Ron, whose party we were at last week, I told you at this big, 400 people. I just thought that was really insulting what he said to me. And I told him that to his face.
What, John, what did he say?
He blamed me for all the vodka being gone halfway through his party.
He did. And then John tries to deny it. I was standing right there. John goes, "No, it wasn't me." He goes, "Yeah, that was you." Because like 3 bottles. So.
Johnny, we ran out of vodka because it's like, well, that's so insulting and not even true hardly. You can't prove it.
John, you gotta drink that much. You should bring your own.
What a great bunch of guys.
Oh, yeah.
And there were 4 people at the show or at that party yesterday. They're in my book.
Yeah.
And then 2 more that I talked to yesterday that are in the current book that I'm writing.
Yeah. And a lot of listeners, which is great. And just, and like I said, I really think that don't underscore how important that is for living a healthy life when you get a little bit older. That socialization,
the camaraderie.
It's underscored. Everybody's like, well, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to watch what I eat. Yeah, those are good things. But you really need to have a social network and be it, cards.
And I'll tell you something else.
That's really, really important.
4 guys there that all had Purple Hearts.
Yeah.
They were all wounded in Vietnam.
Right. So, I thought that was... Anyway,
great.
So, no, even though I
go ahead, politics.
Go ahead.
I mean, this is your wheelhouse.
It was
if you want to talk NFL quarterbacks, I'll talk that on someday, but you go ahead. This is your day after post-election. Go ahead, your views.
I will. I'll give you my views in a second, but you said quarterbacks. I have my fantasy football lunch to pick the players.
Okay, well, we're having, I've got a guy coming on
the 23rd. I know.
We got a guy coming on, and he'll do every Thursday morning. My buddy Sal, he's like an expert. He's unbelievable on this. He's like, unbelievable. And he's going to be our fantasy football guru every Thursday morning on predictions and advice and things like that for fantasy football. I got one sponsor, it looks like. I'm looking for, because I want to pay him for doing it. He's an amputee. He's a Iraq amputee. Plays on the amputee Patriots softball team. Great friend of mine. And his wife, actually, whose brother is an amputee, they all work together in helping these kids, amputee kids and everything like that. And he's going to be on, we're going to get him on every week. But I need a sponsor. Is there any company out there that would like to sponsor this? And the money's not going in our pockets. I want to make sure I pay him. I mean, part of it's going into our pockets of the big thing, but it's not like directly to us. I'll be honest with you.
A little something for you.
It goes into corporate. Okay?
Yeah, it's corporate.
Keep the lights on type
Civic
thing.
Media.
But if there's any companies out there that would like to sponsor a fantasy football segment with this wonderful Iraq veteran, please let us know.
All right. So anyway,
because part of the money that you give for sponsorship, you'll be the yada yada fantasy football weekly report, and part of it will go directly to him. So I just want to show any companies out there that would like to sponsor that.
Is he coming on next week?
Well, maybe the
20
week after. Because fantasy football doesn't start until the regular season.
Yeah, I know, but we're picking our teams on the 23rd. It's a potluck. And,
okay.
But
well, you know what? Maybe we'll get him on then. You know what?
Just give me his number.
You know what? I will
just do that. Just
text him during our next break.
All right, we'll get him on. But anyway, back to say football and politics, right? Which are the two things that keep me going. Last night was interesting, right? It's a primary, and I think sometimes people think, well, if you don't win the primary, it's still okay. It's not okay. I mean, it's over if you don't win the primary. And the most competitive race we had in our district here was the 8th Congressional Congress seat, right? Because Gallagher stepped aside and left that vacant. So you had to vote for someone to fulfill his term, and then you had to vote for someone to do his term for the next 2 years. And that was very close, and it was very close there were 3 people running, all qualified, right? One was a sitting senator, the other one was a previous senator, and the other one was just outside, just a business guy, and Tony Weed, and he won. And
are you okay? Let me just.
And I interviewed all 3 of them on my show, so I know all 3 of them.
And again,
well. Don't ask me who I voted for because
I couldn't tell you if my mom and dad were Democrats or Republicans.
Yeah.
My dad stressed it in our family. That is such a privilege. And he talked about with his dad, who came over from Italy.
Yeah.
And when one of his greatest moments was when he passed the test to become an American citizen.
Right.
And that was in like the 1920s. We're not talking like 1840 or something. Like in our generation almost of whatever. And he said the greatest thing in the world was to be able to go and vote.
Oh, yeah.
And, but their whole thing was private. You keep that to yourself. You keep that to yourself. So I can't tell you if my dad and mom were Democrats or Republicans. So I kind of grew up that way. So that's why in your family, maybe a little bit opposite. You're more whatever. So all I'm saying, but all I'm saying is this: the one thing, because I know the Weed family. This guy's dad used to be a great friend of mine.
And
great
we both
football
know his brother pretty well.
Yeah, and Andre, I've known him forever.
Yeah, he was my chief of staff. Yeah.
Okay, and Roger, great,
awesome guy.
I know them, so every one of them I consider like a friend type thing. But here's what I'm asking. Okay,
needed a 3-sided coin.
Is there a positive these days to not have a background in politics versus just starting out with a clean slate versus that? I'm just curious about that because I watch it from afar, and you're a student of this. So I'm curious about your opinion on these things.
I don't. Nothing's easy. Even that kid we had on yesterday who was interested in politics.
Right.
I mean, whether you were in politics or not, they're going to dig pretty deep.
Right.
And they're going to find out if you had to have an unhappy employee because Tony had many employees, but when you're in public office, you take votes and. Look, there's going to be something in the budget that somebody's not going to like. You either cut the libraries by 1%.
Yeah.
Oh, he hates libraries. Doesn't like kids. Doesn't think they should. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just very, very difficult. So did Tony have an advantage? I don't know. It depends on the voter. Some people are like, the guy's got no experience. We're not going to send a guy with no experience to Congress. Other people are like, these other guys,
That's a positive.
Well, these other guys are other career politicians. We don't want to do that.
No
baggage. I went to some of the debates to watch these guys and like I said, I don't think we could have gone wrong with any of them. The Republicans could have gone wrong with any of them. And and now it's going to be an interesting race because we're both really good friends with Dr. Lowry. It's going to be fun. And so it's going to be Tony Weed and her that are going to, and they're both. Neither of them have been, I think, on the school board or city council or I don't know.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Neither of them.
No track record.
Right. Yeah. Which is to their advantage.
Is that a positive or negative?
It depends. Some people can say I took the lead on this project or that project, so that can help, but. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, voters decided and they wanted somebody from the outside because both Andre and Roger, pretty good resumes in politics. So, and I think they're like, let's try something different. So, it'll be interesting. I just this morning I sent texts out to them. Just congratulations for running. That is a tough thing, Johnny.
Oh,
I don't know that.
Lord.
The sleepless nights.
I can't even imagine. Like I said, I used to help my brother when he ran for sheriff.
Right.
And even with that was. Yeah.
And some of those ads were ugly.
That's what's really turned these days, huh?
Yeah. And it's not so much this guy spending money against that guy. It's these PACs that are, political action committees that, the donors sometimes, and they just really, it's negative. And the candidate in their defense doesn't have control over the PAC, but they also don't take an ad out saying that's not true.
I disagree.
I didn't do it. Well, you could say more than that, but
when did that change?
Yeah, I don't.
When did it get so nasty?
I don't know. Wasn't it always a little bit nasty? Remember that?
I don't know.
I don't know, Todd. You remember? I mean, you've been a little bit of a student of this, but when they had that girl with the daisies.
Oh, yeah.
Girl with the daisies.
Yeah, that was
and then they blew up that nuclear.
That was Goldwater.
It was Goldwater, yeah.
So that was 1964.
Yeah. And then they had that other ad. I don't know if that was Goldwater, where they just had President Goldwater, and the guy was just laughing.
Oh, I don't remember that one, but I remember the girl with the daisies.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Those were powerful ads. One of them, I think
that might be the first of the.
But it's been a little bit ugly. I mean, I don't just now. Social media doesn't help, and I don't know. As long as people, say, look, that's politics, and really get in and look at the candidate. It's nice when you meet the candidate. I will say that because you can kind of look them in the eye.
I think it's gotten worse since the PACs got involved.
Yeah.
And as people, we probably don't look closely enough into our own study of people and the politics and the candidates. We take for granted what's being shoved at us. Yeah. And I think that's in general in life. We do that a lot. We want somebody else to do the work for us. And
but
if we could get rid of that a little bit.
Yeah. I asked a politician one time who was way above my pay grade. I'm like, why are you so negative? And he goes, because it works.
Really? Okay.
So that's a little bit our fault too, right? I mean, if it does work, it doesn't influence me, but I mean, some people, I don't know, does it? I don't think they'd spend $700,000 if it didn't work. I mean, there's got to be some testing. And do you like this ad where can't we all get along, or this ad like this guy did this and that, and like, oh no, that would make me move the needle. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I mean, there's
Says
a lot of
something about our
get to your
DNA.
point.
Well, yeah, about our culture. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Are other countries like that?
Well, it's not as much. You go down to some, like in Mexico, there's just not as much. I don't know, maybe with social media, but there's just not as much cable TV and stuff. There's just posters everywhere. Every other telephone post has posters on, this guy or that guy. But
UK is not quite that bad.
Okay, you work in the UK, basically.
Yeah, they still have the equal time and all that kind of stuff. And over there, in broadcasting, you can't say something that's not true.
Yeah. Well,
and also if you're a politician, you can't say something about your opponent that's not true. And if it's even slightly proven, you're in trouble.
I still remember being in Broadcasting 101 at Arizona State, and I swear for the entire semester, it was all about Section 301 or whatever it was of the Fairness Doctrine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, boy, if you had a politician on, you got to have his opponent on, equal time, equal whatever. Do those apply anymore?
Yeah. Well, I thought if we had Tony Weed or Dr. Lowry on our show, one of them, the other one could petition to be on for that same amount of time.
That is correct. They can ask to be on and they get the same amount of time. But in the old days, you had to do it.
Oh, you had to do it. Oh my gosh.
They might be on your show. That was
pounded into our heads as students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that is that. I agree. That's it's a little sad to see that.
But part of it was, though, if somebody was in office and there was like something about, taxes might go up for the new sidewalks, whatever, you could interview that guy if it was a bona fide news story.
And you can still do that today.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
That was the key. Is it a bona fide news story?
Yeah.
Or is it more of a fluff thing to, whatever. Because they would do, I remember that politicians or their people would try to manufacture a story about a thing to get their face on TV.
Yeah.
So that was the thing we had to watch for.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. I got that show on Sundays, Lean Local, and
so who are you having on?
Well, this week we're going to just talk about the business. The vice president of the chamber is coming on, Lisa, and she's going to just talk about, are we doing enough for the economics here? I mean, we got some vacant buildings around town.
Yeah, which one I walked by it yesterday, Jim. The one it's on the same block as like Angelina's and Delilah's or whatever.
Yeah.
It's got the most beauful windows
and the architecture
and doors. The architecture is fantastic.
Yeah.
Why is that vacant?
Yeah. Well, we can talk about that. I know a little bit about that. I just think I want to talk about the brain drain. Are we still experiencing that? Are we retaining kids? And we had this 23-year-old. We had that kid that was on from 26 who's on hold. He is, but he's under 30. And what are we doing to retain these people? Are we surveying them? Are we talking to them? Are we just hoping they like it here? Because, hope is not a strategy, right? But yeah, I want to talk. So we're going to talk to the chamber. Then after that, we'll get more into there's a lot of candidates. I mean, there's a state Senate race that we're going to have both candidates on. We're going to have both candidates on for the Assembly. Actually, we're going to have 4 different candidates on for that, 2 different districts, and then, of course, Congress. Yeah, it's going to be great. And we'll lean a little bit more local on what are they going to do for our community here. But
it's your wheelhouse.
I love it.
All right, quick break. Back after this.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and connected to your local community. Here's Terry Barr with the Civic Media Radio Network.
It may be one of the prettiest fair sites in the state, and Brown County has hosted its historic fair along the riverfront in West De Pere for more than 165 years. The theme is a little something for everyone, and they're not kidding. There's a demolition derby, a professional rodeo competition, horse, truck, and tractor pulls, special shows just for the kids, nightly live music, exhibits including everything from animals to antiques, photography to woodworking, rooster crowing contest, games, rides, homemade wine and beer judging, and food. Lots of food. Oh, your admission price including parking, rides, and all the events. How about that? Fairgrounds open at 8 a.m. Carnival area gets going after 11, 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. It all shuts down at 10:30, 11:30 on weekend nights. The Brown County Fair runs Wednesday, August 14th through Sunday, August 18th. Enjoy! And until next time, I'm Terry Barr.
This is the Talk of
Midwest Restoration coming up. I still want to get a job with them.
Yeah, I know you do.
Still get a job with them. Ben and Deanna Malcor, I still want to work with them too.
Yeah,
I want to do some stuff with them. Okay.
Isn't John? Do you see what's happening here? You've been on the show over a year. You've been talking to these people, and they've never gotten back to you.
I'm not sure they got my number.
I'll pass out cards from now on.
We got to do that.
It's funny because our cards are right there when you walk in the door. You walk out the door. Our cards are right there. Jim Schmidt, John Maino.
I am because even when I go up to my brother's camp at the deer camp,
and
he's always like, "Man, you're a hard worker, and we're making wood and cutting wood and doing all this stuff." And he's like, "Man, you just," and it's like, I know, but I've how many times have I tossed out there? I'm looking for a manual labor job.
Yeah, but
manual labor. I want to do manual labor, and nobody will hire me.
Yeah.
What?
I just with your. How long do you do that work? Hour, 45 minutes, maybe.
More than that.
Okay. I think that's
hour and 15. Then we play cribbage,
and you can't really drink on the job, when you're and up there. They probably a little bit more leeway.
I want a manual labor job. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, this is not very manual labor. My doctor even told me, he goes, it's not good to go and wake up and sit for 3 hours.
You
told me I should stand.
I'm going to tell you something that is so discouraging regarding working out. It's mind-boggling. How many miles do you think you have to walk to burn enough calories to lose 1 pound? Give me a no. How many miles? You're not even going to believe this.
Walk?
Mm-hmm.
4.
Oh, my goodness.
Keep going.
Well, if you run, right. If you
walking.
Okay, I know it's walking. So I'm thinking walking 15 minutes. That's a lot of, that's a couple hours of walking. Right?
I
15-minute mile. What's an hour of walking?
I walked 2 hours and 4 minutes yesterday.
8. So 8.
No.
You walked 2 hours. I
walked 2 hours yesterday.
Did you do?
And I looked.
8 miles?
I looked it up. 6 miles. But I looked because I'm trying to get ready for the. You know what? I have. I think really short
steps,
strides.
Yeah.
But so I walked. Okay, so I was on the Fox Trail, and there is no starting point for the Fox Trail.
They talked to the county.
It's not there. They do not have a starting point, a marker for the Fox.
So they have those.
I even asked a lady who was walking. I said, "Do you know where the marker is? Where it starts?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I don't."
They have these 4x4 posts with like mile markers with like a little pyramid on top, and 1.2 or
Yeah.
There should be one right on Polier and Adams that says 0.0.
And there isn't one.
Yeah.
There is not one on the Fox.
They could have brought that with that fine you got.
I know, right? Exactly. Got text is followed by, I want manual labor work, but I am chafed and wearing bike shorts to work. I'm going to be honest
That's a
with
good
you.
Listener.
I was chafed so bad last night after that walk. I had to get lotion.
John,
I'm not
nobody
kidding.
cares.
You can't believe
Nobody
how chafed.
cares.
I don't know what to do about that because my thighs are so whatever. So,
They're like, don't. Yeah.
I can't. Okay. So when you talk about you can walk, you wouldn't want to look into my apartment last night.
Nope.
Because I had
anytime.
nothing on because I couldn't have anything on because I was chafed so bad. But anyway, I'm just being honest. So we
don't need this kind of honesty. We just need to be. That's too deep, John.
Jim,
Nobody
here's
cares.
some bullet points for you.
Oh my God.
Chafed.
Get me out of here.
Naked, and lotion. I mean, if those three things, bullet points.
I'm being honest.
Good morning, everybody.
I'm being honest.
I can't even drink coffee anymore. Okay.
Okay. So you want to know how many miles?
I say 8. I'll double it to 8. So 8 miles walking, you could lose a pound. I would think yes.
Incorrect.
Okay.
What is it?
35.
Oh,
No,
my
it's
God.
35 miles to lose 1 pound. You have to walk 35 miles to lose 1 pound.
John, you got it.
Losing a pound of fat is so hard, it's unbelievable. 35 miles of walking to lose 1 pound.
I'm going to look it up on Google.
Look it up. It's probably 35 minutes.
No.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
I've got the answer already.
John, jeez.
According to Eating Well, you need to walk roughly 35 miles or 70,000 steps to lose a pound.
Thank you.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Isn't that discouraging?
I can't believe that.
Say it again, Todd.
According to Eating Well, you need to walk roughly 35 miles or 70,000 steps to lose 1 pound.
All right, I got an idea.
That is very discouraging.
That is
so discouraging.
How about jogging? Not running, jogging. Like canter.
Canter. I jog at a canter pace.
On
That's
average,
between galloping and
average, jogging, you still need to run about 35 miles. Jim.
That doesn't make sense to me, you guys. That's running from here to Manitowoc.
Yeah.
To lose a pound?
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
So it is diet.
It is. I mean, it's like I saw a thing.
Wow.
It's 80%. Losing weight is 80% diet. Yeah. No, it's great for your heart and your blood pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you do, half an hour, whatever.
But weight.
Actual losing fat is such a hard thing to do.
I see another thing here that says roughly 30 miles, but it's still in that 30 to 35 mile range. Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's shocking.
That's
almost,
a lot.
isn't it?
That's a lot. I mean, you could do that maybe. Well, then again, you could do that in a week. So if you want to lose a pound a week, 1 year you'd be where you should be.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, we're going to try something else.
We have to go back to Cholesterol Fest and talk about this.
Where's that Ozempic guy?
My daughter lost like 40 pounds doing something like that.
I don't know. I think that, you know what? I told
like
you.
I said, if I could take a pill and do it, I just can't give myself a shot.
Well, somebody else can do it in your back arm. You
I guess.
Look. I mean, and those needles are so small and so thin now.
If John did that, if John got it, Jim, would you give him the shot?
Oh, no. I would not allow him to get I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't let you give me the shot.
Yeah,
I think you would stick in further than you have to. You try to hit a nerve. You would do
needle's
something.
I
don't care.
Inch, probably 3/4 of an inch.
I think
you can only go in so far.
If you have a chance to inflict pain on me
that is
under
true.
the guise of I'm doing this for you, but you would make it a little bit more painful than you'd need to be, you would do that. I feel like you would do that.
All right. Well, Todd, would you allow Todd to?
Yes, in a heartbeat.
All right, there we go. So now we just have to get the fundraiser going for $1,000 a month. We got to figure something out,
Hey,
Johnny.
folks, donate to our great cause.
Forget
It's a wonderful
sponsorships.
charity.
Ozempic for these two lazy guys.
Two fat old white guys. All right, we got to start a quick break. Ryan Lambert, Benediana Malcor, Keith Pamper, Challenge Outdoors, and of course, Terry Barr with a slice of Wisconsin, all coming up next.
I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door. Now every time I go for the mailbox, I gotta hold myself down.
To the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Devil's Advocates radio show.
Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us next time. We'll be live on location at Volk Field with the Wisconsin Air National Guard's Northern Lightning. A great training exercise. Learn all about aircrafts, pilots, and more. Join us.
The Todd Albaugh Show, weekdays noon till 2.
At Fleet Farm, we know every opening day doesn't begin and end with us. But if it did, we've got you covered. Everyday hunting gear from Winchester, Remington, and Bear. Everyday fishing gear from Daiwa, St. Croix, and Rapala. Everyday yard cleanup from Scott's, Fiskars, and AgriFab. Whatever makes your day, we're right there with you. At Fleet Farm, we've got everything you need for everyday life.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW 1590 AM Denmark, W250CV Green Bay, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. It's back to the campaign trail today for former President Donald Trump, who will hold a rally in the swing state of North Carolina. He will deliver what his campaign is touting as a major speech on the economy. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has more on what the Democrats, including vice presidential candidate Tim Walz, are doing.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz defending his military record after relentless attacks from Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, who've accused Walz of lying about his military record, hitting back at attacks from fellow veteran Vance, who also never saw active combat. Walz speaking to union members in his first solo campaign speech and slamming Trump as out of touch with working class America.
The government is expected to report this morning that inflation cooled further last month. Consumer prices out today, thought to have risen just 0.2% from June to July, a pace slightly above the Fed's 2% target rate. This is ABC News. An arrest in Hawaii after several homemade bombs were found around Maui over the last few weeks.
47-year-old Robert Dumoran is now in federal custody, facing charges for allegedly setting an IED outside of his school on Maui last month. And while not yet charged, he's allegedly linked to similar devices that were placed in multiple areas around the island in the last week or so. A fingerprint found on tape on one device, along with cell phone pings, led investigators to him. He allegedly texted a friend saying that he felt like he had to set off some explosives because it makes him feel better. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Two people recovering after they were both hit by lightning. The two women were both hit by a strike while standing near the rim of the Colorado River's Horseshoe Bend in Arizona. You can find all sorts of stuff at a farmer's market, like 2,400 pounds of meth. Cops in Atlanta say it was stashed in celery and smuggled in by a Mexican drug cartel. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hi, this is Jim Schmidt, your former mayor of Green Bay. You know, I've always cared about local issues. I still do. Join me on my new show, Lean Local, here on WGBW. I'll interview community leaders and elected officials, discuss the economy and development projects, and we'll talk about the future of education here in Greater Green Bay. As they say, all politics is local. So join me for Lean Local, Sunday at 1 p.m. on the Talk of Green Bay, 97.9 WGBW.
As a network, we're called Civic Media because a big part of it is we want to start modeling how civic discourse really should happen and being respectful of each other's opinions, even if you disagree. You know, like they should be given a platform.
If Rocker and I can get along, we can all get along.
I know, exactly.
Right, Rocker?
Yeah, that's right, Jimmy.
Well, you do have a wall in between the two of you, so
glass.
it's like
It's only glass. Tear down the walls. Listen to Max Inc. Saturday night, 6 to midnight, across the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Wisconsin voters say no to 2 questions to amend the state constitution. Here's Melissa Kay.
The executive branch will retain the sole power to execute all federal funds, as it has since 1930. This means when federal funds are directed to the state, the governor has the power to accept them and get those funds quickly to where they are most needed. I'm Melissa Kay, Civic Media News.
Rebecca Cook is the projected winner in the 3rd Congressional District Democratic primary in western Wisconsin. She was leading by 6 points at last check. Numbers were coming in much slower in the Republican primary in the 8th U.S. House race in northeast Wisconsin, where Tony Weed was up by 4 points. And that's what you need to know. I'm Terry Bell, and this is Civic Media News.
Game 3 of the Brewers and Dodgers. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Brewers hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight when they host the LA Dodgers again. The Dodgers winning last night 7-2. They hit 4 home runs, including one for second baseman Gavin Lux, who was drafted by the Dodgers back in 2016 out of Indian Trail High School in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Shohei Ohtani hit his 37th homer of the year. That's the most in the National League. College football, the Wisconsin Badgers back in Madison after breaking camp during a 2-week stay in Platteville. NFL, Packers getting ready to take on the Broncos in Denver Friday in a joint practice session. Quarterback Jordan Love.
I think it's good. Like I said, just be able to see somebody new, practice against a new team, and kind of that practice atmosphere where you get to see a lot more, and then you get to go back and break it down the film. So it's good to just be able to see new looks. We've been going against our defense every day, so just be able to get a new feel on defense is always good.
That's Packers quarterback Jordan Love with Sports on Mike Clemens.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
Sunny this morning with clouds increasing this afternoon. We'll get into the low 80s for a high today with wind out of the south at 5 to 15. Showers and thunder showers tonight, tomorrow, into tomorrow night. Some locally heavy rainfall amounts of an inch or more possible. Our high tomorrow in the low 70s. Scattered rain will continue through Thursday into Friday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 60.
Crude and Dom.
Tune in to the Devil's Advocates for a whopper of a Wednesday edition. We'll have all the electoral results in the great state of Wisconsin and our friend Bill Press in the Happier Happy Hour. Devils.
The Devil's Advocates. Weekdays 4 till 6.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor.
Begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive.
And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back, Maino and the Mayor, here on a gorgeous Wednesday morning. 61 degrees in Green Bay, 66 in Appleton, 61 in Oshkosh. Didn't somebody say, Todd, was it you or was it somebody at Cholesterol Fest yesterday where they said, like, this week is, like, generally the best weather of the year?
Oh, you meant him that said that.
Yeah.
He went back, like, I think 11 years, he said. And this week that we're in right now, what is this, 13th? Anyway, the third week of August is the best weather week, and that's why they have picked that weekend for their church picnic. And how many people do you say they had there? Like, I don't know. They were out of food by like noon. Is that a good idea?
Oh, yeah.
The thing started at 10.
Oh, my God, Todd. the thing we had on last week.
The lady that
Prince
came on.
of Peace.
Yeah.
Church. Unbelievable. They said they were out of water by like noon.
Wow.
They had to turn people away from the car show. They had so many cars.
Yeah.
It was
300 cars.
And they said last year they made over $100,000.
And we did way over that this year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
That's incredible.
I think that's cool, though, how they picked that weekend because of 11 years of history. Because this is the best. And they, right?
And they're right.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But,
yes, it is.
We got this text here. Diet and exercise are vastly overrated. Remember that Keith Richards has outlived Richard Simmons. That's a great point. And I was talking about John Daly. Still smokes like 4 packs of cigarettes a day and grossly overweight. And yeah.
But are they happy?
I think they're very happy.
Remember that scene in Grumpy Old Men?
Yeah.
And it was Jack Lemmon. Was it Jack Lemmon?
And yeah.
And what's his name?
Walter Matthau.
No, the other guy, old guy.
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, smoking and drinking beer and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Did you ever see the outtakes at the end of the movie? Burgess Meredith was just a nasty old man.
Funny as
funny
hell.
as hell.
He was
Oh
funny.
my goodness.
Anyway, but this weather week, and when we had Brittany on Monday talking about the weather, it kind of turns tomorrow. We're going to be from like 83 down to like 71 or something tomorrow, and there's some rain coming.
Yeah, Brittany said that.
So we gotta. If she's right,
Brittany's always right.
She's right more than she's wrong, which can't say that for. Anyway, yeah, but the weather does change tomorrow, so we gotta get out there and enjoy this. This is what.
Wait, no, we just got another text.
Another sponsor. Another sponsor.
Another text here. I thought we were listening to Grumpy Old Man. Give him a bell on that one. That's the truth.
We're positive.
Yeah.
It's us. Yeah, we got. Hey. So this diet thing, though, Johnny, I think we need to get serious. I do. I have a $100 bet. You're going to give me $100 if I lose. What was the bet by Christmas? I think it was
30 pounds.
Was it?
Yeah.
By Christmas.
Yes.
Of what year? Wow. Okay.
So you get about 130 days, roughly.
Okay.
Isn't it?
All right.
Because did they say
right.
the election is like 100 days away or whatever?
Yes, that's November 5th.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Today, I'm back at the gym. I'm
Start
back at the gym today. Yeah, because I took a week off.
I will say this, though. Your biggest problem is that you're a good cook. And you enjoy eating. You know, I don't cook. I can't cook anything.
Yeah.
And you are a great cook. So it's like you're sitting there and it's like you don't have to go to a restaurant. You don't have to whatever. You can create something delicious that you would love right there in your house.
Yeah, I have a lot of
and that's got to be tough.
And
you enjoy doing it.
I do. And plus I have a lot of inventory. I mean, I have a freezer downstairs that has all sorts of seafood or just meats, chicken, just beef.
Yeah.
Tenderloin, I got to get rid of all that stuff. I want to do what Kathy did. She just threw all that stuff out. I don't like wasting.
But
food.
you could give it to the shelter, right?
Yeah.
Boy, I just came up with the answer to.
Yeah.
Shoot,
I don't know.
That was some like Office Space.
Yeah. I'm going to need you to give that to the shelter.
You didn't include that top page. Did you not get the memo? Yeah, I did. I got the memo right here. It's like, the cover page is pretty important. I know. But, I don't have to turn it in until Monday, so I'll get to it. Yeah. I'll have them resend the memo to you about the cover page.
Right.
No, I've got it right here. Yeah, we'll get that sent right out to you.
Anyway, yes, it's going to be great. And $100 would be nice to have. And I got plenty of time.
Oh, plenty
30
of time.
pounds to work on that. And I want to do it too. Maybe I have. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
I remember we used to have a guy at my old station.
This.
We'd have a guy come in who was on one of those weight loss things, like, whatever.
But they always pick you radio guys.
Yeah.
Because you guys are overweight.
I told you I got fired from a couple of those, though, right? I was losing no weight. I remember I was on one of them, and the stuff tasted like crap.
Oh.
They give you these little cardboard things.
Right.
Oh, mix it with water and put the microwave in. So this rice. So I convinced this girl to give me just stockpiles of those little peanut butter bars they had, and that's all I would eat was. And I actually gained weight. I got fired from it. True story. Yeah.
I know they had a lot of that Jenny Craig with.
Do any of those work?
Guys.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Todd. Salespeople in radio made crap tons of money.
Oh, off of us.
Yes. Absolutely.
Off of us.
And it's like, I got a great thing for you.
Yep.
You can eat this crap for 3 months, and I'm going to make money.
Yep.
It's a win-win. Yeah.
And you're like, do I get anything out of it? Well,
the food.
Yeah.
That tastes like garbage. Yeah.
I like it better when we sponsor a small business and they bring in their cheeseburgers, their wraps.
Oh, I got to tell you, did you make those Italian beef sandwiches that day when you gave me a couple?
That with the peppers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make those?
No. I was part of. They were made. They were homemade. We didn't buy them. They were homemade. I was part of the process.
We could do a stand out on the street and sell those and make a lot of money.
Yeah, those
were delicious. I mean, you can go downtown Chicago and you won't find something better than those. Yeah. Those were incredible. That beef you had was something else.
Yeah. It's AFG. Yeah, that was good.
Maybe that's what we could do for the draft. Italian beef sandwiches.
With you being Italian?
Yeah. What do you think?
Those are good, and we can keep them, put them in a warmer.
Those peppers were great.
The peppers were great.
The buns were great.
Yeah, the bread makes
Where'd the buns come from?
I think Voyager. I have to look. I'm not sure, because they're great. Panera's, they're all great donors to us. So, and that was. But how many did you have? 4?
2.
No, you didn't.
You only gave me 2.
I dropped the next day. I gave you 2 more.
You did not.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I did roll the window down. I did.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I forgot about that. It's like a drug deal. He pulls up, Todd.
I do.
I'm out on the sidewalk.
Tinted windows.
He pulls up, rolls the window down. I just reach in, grab, and run back in. I'm like a squirrel grabbing a nut and running back to his tree.
I swear to God, if people were actually able to see you guys outside the studio, off the, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It is. It's a 10-second handoff tops. We don't even really visit. We just
yeah. Thank you. Boom, and he takes off.
Those days got to stop.
Yes, they do.
Food. All right.
They've got to stop.
Yeah. The other thing I'm really into is granola, cherries, and yogurt.
Granola's not great for you.
No, I read that.
I remember back in the day, that was like the health food, granola.
No,
and now it comes out, it's not.
Yeah, it's homemade granola, but there's a lot of.
But it's still anything that has the carbs, and carbs are sugar.
And what else do you put on it? Is there honey or sugar?
Yeah.
That's not good for you then.
I can't understand why you can't lose weight eating that stuff.
But that is good. Once the cherries are gone, I think I'm going to throw out the yogurt.
You know what they say is the best type of thing you can eat is Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know why, but Greek yogurt, they say, is so much better for you than regular yogurt.
Well, I get the vanilla. Yeah, vanilla yogurt. But that with because I told you, I went and all those cherries in Door County and granola.
Oh, by the way,
it's very good.
By the way, now that I'm on my super protein diet, what did I ask you to make for me?
Oh,
that chili. Remember, you haven't made me that chili.
Turkey? What do you want?
With turkey, ground turkey, chili.
Yeah, why are you putting ground turkey in there? We can use.
Well, it's just better for you than ground beef.
Well, I'll use ground round.
Okay,
that's better.
But I could live on good chili. I could live on chili. I love chili like you can't believe. I'd like to own a restaurant, serve nothing but chili.
There are people who've, there's people who like that guy that was on from Cincinnati, right? Skyline Chili, and there's people who, it's Chili John's. There's people who've made a living as that being their mainstay.
Yeah.
I don't know if just chili would work, but anyway,
I'm going to own a chili stand. What?
I tell you that
I am. I'm going to start up a chili stand. I'm going to make the best chili. Nobody doesn't like chili. There's nobody that would turn down chili.
Well, vegetarians don't like it.
The only thing I don't want tomatoes in it.
You can do vegetarian chili though too, like with beans and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that wouldn't come out of my kitchen. Although when my kids are home, I'll do anything I can to do vegetarian because I got two.
But you were going to make me a big thing of chili, and you never did.
All right, I can do that. I can do it. I can do it. I just not this weekend. I'm going. I'm going up to a wedding in Door County, so I hope the weather's good because that's.
Well, it's only Wednesday. You've got plenty of time.
Do you? Okay. And again,
I've got,
hey Todd,
look at this.
Funerals and weddings. Funerals and weddings.
Exactly.
What are you doing tomorrow? I got a funeral. What are you doing this weekend? I got a wedding.
That's how you can make money. Just sell yourself to show up at all the weddings and funerals.
Absolutely.
Hire you.
I do have a funeral coming up though. That
of course you do.
No. Do you remember John Shear?
I know the name.
Yep. He was great. Green Bay guy, ran the United Way forever. And then he went back to school. I think he was like 62 or 63, so it's never too late. Got his degree in nursing.
Oh.
And then he was like the male nurse, wrote a book, came to City Hall. He talked
That's
to
where
all
I must
the
know the name
employees.
from then.
Yeah, he's very, very popular. Well, anyway,
he passed away?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
his funeral's 24th.
Got text. Perfect name for it, Maino. Chili John's. Yeah.
That is funny.
Might have some issues with
funny.
Our
that.
listeners are funnier than us.
They are.
They are.
You know what? We always say every person that comes into this studio is cooler than us.
Oh, man.
Our listeners
Hands
are funnier
down.
than us.
Yeah.
Not more creative. There's not even a question about that. Not even a question. But you know what? Okay, so again, we're both in this weight loss mode.
We are.
Okay?
We are.
And you've got a personal trainer.
I do.
And you got the whole thing going.
I do.
But we've got to realize it's more of the nutrition aspect of it to lose weight than the working out aspect.
So I can scrap my
because I'm a firm
$90
believer.
a day
I gained more weight from working out than lost. And the reason is because I would run and think, man, I just lost 2 pounds from running. And I would eat 2 cheeseburgers with the bun and fries and chips and dip because I can eat all this because I just jogged for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think I don't know why I eat. That's what my wife says. Because why are you eating? You're not hungry. I think I don't know if I'm depressed or anxious.
Pleasure. It's pleasure.
We got to find something that I can eat that I don't gain weight.
We got to send a quick break. We'll ponder that.
I could say day and you'd say night.
Where in the 1880s, young Charlie Nagreen pushed his food cart to the fair. The 15-year-old planned to sell round balls of beef to visitors, but it didn't quite catch on. Can you guess the surprising reason why? The answer's coming up. Every summer, the home of the hamburger celebrates its history in a huge way with Burger Fest in Seymour. There's a 200-pound burger on the grill, a bun, run, ketchup slide, and of course, a burger eating contest. So did you guess why Charlie's first beef recipe didn't work out? Well, as the story goes, visitors to the fair wanted to walk around. Charlie realized he needed to smash his beef ball between two pieces of bread to be able to eat it on the go. Charlie's hamburger, a huge success, making Seymour the home of the hamburger, a true slice of Wisconsin. I'm Terry Barr for the Civic Media Radio Network.
The top. I got to tell you guys, we got a message from Michael Friedman, who's going to be in tomorrow to talk about the NFL draft and all that kind of stuff. He sent a message. He says, looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm bringing you a special treat tomorrow.
Well, I hope it's a fruit tray.
Well, or a treadmill or something. Yeah.
A head of iceberg lettuce.
Yes. Wow.
Exactly.
That guy's great.
He's
told
great,
you,
man.
I'm working with him with my house, and I'm just learning a lot. I did sign an agreement that he would be the listing guy or get me a tenant, but there's a lot to that. Tonight there's a seminar. I want to look that up at the next break, and I'm going to that tonight just to learn more about it because I think a lot of people, we don't have the hotels that we need here in Green Bay, and I think to rent your house.
Well, the NFL took them all right off the bat, didn't they?
Right. Yeah. So, if somebody wants to make an extra, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10,000, I think that's an opportunity, but it's not as easy as you think. It's not just putting a.
Well, how much did it cost you for an inspector to come through?
He's coming Tuesday.
How much?
There's $500 to look at my house.
That's incredible.
$500. And I don't. Okay.
That's one house.
County.
And there's probably 1,000 houses that are going to be like that's
county.
What are they going to do with that money?
Right. Maybe they'll put your marker up at the trail.
That would be nice.
It's a county. Yeah,
Why? I want to throw this up. Maybe if the Flukies are listening, or anybody that uses the trail a lot. And I'll be honest with you, I still use the trail with my bike illegally.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Nice,
I just do it illegally. But why don't they have a marker up, or is there a marker up that says this is the start? This is 000? Because the first marker I could find is 1.6 miles.
Yeah, it's pretty far in.
Yeah. Where is their marker that says where the trail starts?
I think if the Flukies would send an email, it'd be done. They are the experts on trails, right?
Yeah.
They got books. They've been all over.
Yes.
I agree, John. For some people don't care, but other people are there for exercise.
We got to call
They
Troy. Where's Troy? Call Troy. Do you have a cell? I get a cell. Do you have a cell?
Hell yeah.
All right. Troy,
No,
if you're listening.
I'm not calling him.
Come on. He's the guy who runs the county. Troy and I are great friends.
Okay, you call him.
Troy, where is the marker? And my health depends on this.
No.
Okay, so I got to tell you something.
Better guy to call.
Who?
That guy we had on here. He runs the
he
parks
runs
department.
the trail.
He's a good guy. No, he runs the whole park system for the county. He runs that. He was here to talk about the new camping and what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that, okay, we got to find that. Anyway, go ahead. What were you going to say? Sorry.
No, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, wow.
I do that. I do that to him.
You do that to me a lot.
I do it in the car yesterday, and I interrupt him. I'm like, what were you saying? He goes,
I don't remember now. I don't remember now.
I should.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so here. Okay, so Todd, you're always the fact finder guy,
Right.
So I thought because and we're gonna talk with Mark Hewson when he comes in about I want to do this. I really want to do the rucksack march, for HUA preventing helping get the word out about veteran suicide. Okay, and that's November, 17 miles.
When is it?
I don't know the exact date. We're going to have Will Koken on next week. He's on vacation right now.
All right.
But so I thought, well, man, that could take me like 10 hours. How long is that going to take to go? So I actually timed myself for 1 mile yesterday on the trail. I went from the 1.6 thing. No, it's a little more than that. Hang on. So I'm going to find it right now. And I just want to know if this is a pretty good pace. Yes or no. Hang on.
How far are you going with the hoo-ah thing?
17 miles. That's the goal. And we're trying to get sponsorship, to do it type of thing.
And how many minutes?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out
What
yesterday.
did you do
That's
tomorrow?
right. That's
15, 16?
18 minutes and 45 seconds.
That's 19.
For 1 mile. So, yeah, it's probably going to be 20 because that was 1 mile versus, by mile 12, I think the pace will slacken.
5.3.
5.3 hours?
Yeah.
That's not horrible, I guess, huh? I got to get some really good gel shorts.
Yeah.
What?
You sure you want to do that?
Yeah. Even if I can't do the full 17, I want to do as many miles as I can and get sponsorship. I'm asking for people, minimum of $1. Will you sponsor me for how far I'll go? So the most it would cost you would be $17. What do you think? So 20 minutes. That's 3 miles an hour. So that's not bad.
Okay, what happens when you do 9?
Then they only have to pay $9.
Okay, who's going to collect it?
Todd.
Rebate it?
Todd.
There's a lot of pay. That might be one of those, collect $1, spend $1.25 to get $1. You got to be careful with that because that's
Todd won't charge. Todd, will you?
What if you
accept that challenge?
You get 100.
Todd,
go collect it. Stamps,
Todd?
calls, emails,
Todd, either. Todd?
Vimo.
Todd, trying to stay out of this.
Yeah,
come on.
I would
Todd.
if you do $10 a mile. Then I think you could do all right. But it's great you're doing it. I think it's great.
I almost feel like
It's
if
in
I
November?
can do 12 miles, I've succeeded. If I can walk 12 miles, I'm good. I don't know if I can do the full 17. I'm going to give it a shot. Mark Houston's actually going to put together a workout program for me to do this.
I had a guy do that for the marathon for me.
That's what I mean.
He's actually we're going to get him on here.
Maybe Mark will be that guy.
His kids are both Navy SEALs. Who's that guy? Jerry?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a marathon runner.
Oh.
And it was pretty smart what he said. That said, you can do that, run a mile, walk a minute. He said he picked up like almost 20 minutes off his time. Run a mile, walk a minute. For the marathon.
You mean he had a
jogging
better
slow.
time by walking?
Well, he
What do
had
you
a better time by, when I say run a mile, you run kind of fast.
Okay.
And then you walk for a minute, then you run another mile. He goes, so you're really not running 26
Really?
miles.
I've never heard of that.
You're running a mile 26 times. And
I was thinking about this yesterday when I was walking, about what your doctor said to you. You don't have to lose 20 pounds. You just have to lose 1 pound 20 times. And I was thinking about that, you and me. It's like, we've done that. We've lost a pound 20 times. We lost a pound, gained it. Lost a pound, gained it. Lost a pound. So we've done that 20 times now.
No. I see, now I'm energized about losing weight. But
do this with me. Do the ruck march with me.
No, I don't want to do that.
Why?
No, because
Why?
I think of something else.
Why?
I don't want that thing on my back, for one. You're gonna get that's gonna.
I don't think there's a weight limit. How much to?
Well, if you put a blanket in there, people are gonna. No, I mean you got to carry 10. We're already carrying 40 pounds. We shouldn't be carrying. We're gonna add to that.
Well, it'll even out because those 40 are
good idea.
God. So this will even it out on the
good
back.
for your knees.
Yeah, it's ballast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, do it with me.
Nah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, I want to throw this out there, then not a challenge, but whoever, we want to put together a Maino and Mayor team, even though the mayor's not going to be a part of it,
right?
To walk the Ruck March in November for prevention of veteran suicide. What? So we want to throw that out there. Who would like to be on our team? We'll even get T-shirts. It'll be Team Maino and Mayor.
John, I'm telling you, I am busy.
Yeah, of course you are.
No, I am. On Saturday, November 2nd.
I don't know the date yet.
Is the bowl-a-thon for the new community shelter, which is an awesome event.
I don't know
the
date.
And then on the 9th, we are doing the 100-year celebration. We're hosting that for the new community shelter in the Northland Hotel. Those are the first 2 Saturdays. If it's the 16th, I'll do it. How's that?
I think it's the 16th. I do.
You do that.
I do.
Okay.
Todd, can you look that up? Rucksack March, Ruck March.
Yep.
If it's the 16th, I'll do it. But
okay.
If it's, I'm
but we
telling
need
you,
a sponsor.
I'm booked.
Are Ben and Deanna coming in right now?
They're here.
Oh,
No,
I'm going to try to hit them up.
We can get, I mean, We can get sponsors.
I'm going to get Ben and Deanna as our sponsor.
17.
Maybe Deanna will walk with you.
Absolutely.
There you go, yeah.
I don't want to speak for her.
Okay, hey, hang
Wait
on.
on the back.
Mark Hewson just texted me. Saturday, November 9th. The purpose of this event is threefold: to raise awareness for issues of veteran suicide. I've got the whole thing here.
Yeah. Can't do it. Thanks,
Why
Mark.
not? Why can't you do it?
I just told you that. See, I'm glad I told you
He's got a wedding and a funeral that day.
The Malcor is in the house. Back after this.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Matt and Air on Air.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
We're just a couple weeks away from what could become some of the busiest marketing times for dairy. I'm Pam Yankee, starting you off before the opening bell on a Wednesday morning. Quick look at what's happening in agribusiness news. Yeah, beginning in September, the dairy sector should start to see more interest from retailers looking to build their inventories for the holidays. But will that be the case this year? Mike North, primary trader with Everag out of Platteville.
That ultimately is our normal seasonal peak. It's when we love to be active in the marketplace, and this year looks like it's well supported to be active there again. Yes, that's the time of the year when school milk is starting to suck some volume back out and compete. We're ramping up for the holidays. All things hit right around that September-October timeframe, and so it's hopefully when we're going to get a better look at even some better prices, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say.
All right, let's keep our fingers crossed. Mike North, one of the primary operators with Everag out of Platteville. We'll give you the dairy market numbers as well as the rest of our grain trade and overnight activity. That's next.
What does life on the cutting edge mean to alfalfa grower Dan Sheps?
Harv Extra has been very consistent on our test results from first crop through fourth crop. The higher quality has allowed us to feed more alfalfa haylage in our diet, and cows are able to have a higher intake with a higher quality forage.
What does life on the cutting edge mean to alfalfa grower Riley Lepenka?
Making hay has changed so much now with Harv Extra alfalfa. You don't have to be tied down to a certain cutting window. That saves us a lot of headache, a lot of cost, wear and tear on machinery, you name it. I don't see any farm that it wouldn't work. Any kind of operation, if you have 10 cows, 10,000, it doesn't matter.
What does life on the cutting edge mean for alfalfa growers? Flexibility, yield, or quality? Harv Extra alfalfa with Roundup Ready technology gives you an extra edge every time you harvest. Hear grower stories at harvextra.com.
It was a good day in Chicago for the barrel cheese. It was up 7 cents to $2.16. 40-pound block cheese on Tuesday up to at $2.02. Double A butter came down 2 cents, $3.12 a pound. This morning in overnight trade, September Class 3 milk that goes into cheese, it's down 6 right now at $21.28. October closed 9 cents stronger, $21.66 a hundredweight. Currently, December corn's down just a half, $3.96 3/4. November soybeans are up 3 1/4 at $9.65 3/4. September wheat right now down 3 1/4, $5.25 1/2. There's your market update for a Wednesday morning. Don't forget, more news anytime, MidwestFarmReport.com. Sign up for our daily e-newsletter and you won't miss a thing. I am Farm Director Pam Yankee.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
Sunny this morning with clouds increasing this afternoon. We'll get into the low 80s for a high today with wind out of the south at 5 to 15. Showers and thunder showers tonight, tomorrow, into tomorrow night. Some locally heavy rainfall amounts of an inch or more possible. Our high tomorrow in the low 70s. Scattered rain will continue through Thursday into Friday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 60.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God. Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
During life's most trying times, it helps to have someone with experience and understanding at your side. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory has attentive staff in De Pere, available 24 hours a day, and nearly 100 years of business experience, which can provide comfort during those difficult times. Call them at 920-336-3171 or visit them at ryanfh.com. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory, local people serving local families since 1926.
Maino and the Mayor in the morning. Take Maino and the Mayor with you anywhere. Download the Civic Media app today from the Apple Store or Google Play Store. And text the studio directly, all from the Civic Media app. Download it today. Now, once again, here's Maino and the Mayor, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, welcome back. Maino and the Mayor here. Todd, we got a remote coming up on the 27th.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Could you talk about that, please?
We can talk about it.
Oh, do you have a mic?
I got a mic.
Okay.
So coming up on the 27th, we were talking about rental properties and stuff like that for the draft.
Yes.
And we are going to be broadcasting live from Simple Life Hospitality's Green and Gold Party House, basically right across the street from Lambeau Field. And we'll be out there live on Tuesday, the 27th from 6 till 9, broadcasting live. You guys have to see the pictures of this place.
Oh, can't wait.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. So we'll be out there live 6 to 9. People can come on out. The Packer Band is showing up at 7 o'clock.
So your
we're
buddy
gonna be,
Kevin?
Yep, Kevin Van Ness and the guys will be out there playing. And then later, if you can't come out and see us during the live remote, they've got an open house going on from noon till 6. So you can stop out anytime during that time and have a little fun. Check it out.
Beautiful.
So the band's starting at 7 a.m.
Yes, we're going to wake up.
Oh, we had them on the street one time.
down here.
For Oktoberfest at 7 o'clock.
But this
and
house...
I don't think we had any complaints.
No.
I mean, they were great.
No.
What is city ordinance on that?
I think it's 7. No, I think it is.
Jim changed the ordinance.
Well, no, I'll tell you what.
You know what there should be a city ordinance
I tried
against?
to.
Let me tell you what there should be in there's obscenity laws and things like that. Jim wearing lederhosen with this little pouch in his crotchal region. We cannot figure out what that's for. Hey, Todd, when you came with that, what's
there has to be photos out there.
Yeah. What's the pouch for? We could not figure that out.
Okay, John.
Snacks.
Is that for like a harmonica or something? It's like, why do you have a pouch in your crotchal region?
Your pretzels to go with the beer.
Pretzels.
Usually those are on your neck, but those were expensive lederhosen.
I know. I'm saving up
Did
for a
you
pair.
have those on last year?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, I heard all this because I was walking my dog. I am now kicking myself.
That was actually a really good time.
It was a lot of fun.
Kevin's band is
But
awesome.
him in lederhosen with a pouch in the crotchal region was something to see.
God, do you realize how nobody's going to look me in the eye next time?
I don't look you in the eye now. Just being honest. Ben and Deanna Malcor, one of our favorite times of the entire week having you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
We love it.
What is going on?
It's kind of a crazy time right now. Well, before we forget, because we do this all the time, we just listed 2 lots in Hunter's Run. So if anybody is looking to build in that area, we've got 2 lots that just hit the market.
How big?
One of them is about just under an acre, and the other one is just under a half acre. So if you put them together, I think when you put them together, if you want to buy both,
sure.
I think it's like 1.4, something like that.
Okay, and tell where is it again?
That's Hunter's Run subdivision.
Beautiful area.
So beautiful area. There's lots there in the community. It's a housing association community, and then of course it's right by the bay. So it's great.
Fantastic. I'm going to text her. Ben has the best laugh.
Oh, doesn't he?
Well,
it's very hearty.
Thank you. Yes.
That's plenty of elbow room, acre. I mean, of course, I live in the hood, but I mean, that's a lot.
Oh, don't do it. I'm going to smack you. I'm going to punch you right in the face. When I went from, I told you what I did.
What has happened here?
Well, I told you yesterday. Okay, so we had Cholesterol Fest.
Oh, yes, yesterday.
Which is side pork,
right?
Deep fried.
Yeah.
There was nothing there that was healthy for a person.
No.
There
Was this the pre-workout that you guys were talking about?
So people do marathons and they carbo load.
Yeah.
And I did just the opposite. I walked for 2 hours to prepare for Cholesterol Fest.
Yeah.
Burn it off because I know. But what I'm saying is, I got off the trail. because people tick me off on the trail. Okay, so I left that. So I'm walking through this whole area that you drive through the Astor Park area, but you don't walk it. I was just amazed at the architecture.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's
Stunning.
beautiful.
Stunning.
So for you to say you live in the hood, you live in such a great area.
Yeah,
and I was walking through, and
it's in the
like,
city.
I would buy a house here in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Beautiful
down there.
architecture.
Oh my God.
Beautiful homes, and great neighbors. I mean, I just want to say that we talk about buying a home, and it's probably one of your probably the biggest investment you're going to make, and it's really nice when you're surrounded with super nice people.
Yeah.
And we've been very, very fortunate.
Well, if you
and
think-
in the last 2 houses we've gotten, we've just loved our neighbors.
Astor Park, if you are going to buy an Astor Park, you are going to put your heart and soul into that house.
Yeah. You are.
Because they're old, they're historic, they do take a little bit more work.
Sure.
But you get the neighbors that are so invested that
Absolutely.
not only in
Love
their
their
house,
You
but
can
their
just
neighborhood.
see it as you walk through.
It's pride.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, and so many of those people are preservationists. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to take those,
They wouldn't be
homes-
there if they weren't.
Yeah, and just
Right.
maintain and restore.
I was telling Johnny, and people are really proud of the history of their home. Like Dr. So-and-so lived here, or and the Postmaster General lived here, and there's a lot of cool history in that neighborhood as well.
Well, and if you ever get a chance, we met with a young couple a few weeks back, and we were telling them down at the Brown County Library, you can go through the old phone books. The old phone books will actually give you the occupation of the people who have lived in.
Really? I would love to do that.
It was really cool because
super cool.
I kind of zoned out there for a second.
Am I maintaining?
So I don't know if you told the story, but we were trying to find the history of one of the houses that we were listing, because you could tell that there was kind of a service servant stairs, back stairs.
We were talking about that, a carriage house. There's one that had a carriage house.
It's crazy. Yeah. So that's kind of how we got to the library and started. And then we didn't find anything on the house that we were going to be listing, but we were there forever looking through those books. It's so neat.
And you know what? Because we were just talking about this the other day, where in Green Bay, or excuse me, in Maino. Oh, there it is, Jim with his leader hose and his.
Oh my God! Hold on.
Okay, next.
Yeah, his little pouch.
He does have a pouch.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like a hand warmer pouch or something.
Those beers are cool.
Limited.
So
hands.
we're talking about in Manitowoc, beautiful houses in like Michigan Avenue and those things, but they have shared driveways.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Sure.
But on these streets, a lot of them, you can tell how rich, for lack of a better word, some of these people must be, because they had like curved driveways where the garages are right behind the house where you could barely see them. That must have been like a real hoity-toity feature, wouldn't you think?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, where the carriage pulled up.
Yes,
and just
exactly.
kind of the old roundabout out front.
Yes.
Or half roundabout, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you have to walk it. I mean, I've lived here since 1984, and I've driven and I've never noticed the houses.
Well, those aren't really driving streets, though. Some of
No.
them, you know,
They're
they're walking streets,
Yeah.
and you got to really get out and go for a walk. They all have terraces, which is cool.
It's so
The-
pretty.
The lawns are pretty well maintained too. You know, most of them hedges and that. So yeah, you're talking about some of them. You even got to look over the hedges to see the homes. But yeah, they take a lot of pride, and I think that's great to find the right house. But boy, if you can find the right neighborhood too, that's a win-win.
Well, one of our agents is going to be listing a house in Astor Park.
Oh, really?
And we had went over there to kind of help determine kind of price and do a market analysis with her.
Is that
And-
hard doing a market analysis of a house that's like 120 years old versus? Because let me ask you this, because I mean, Jim, you've dealt with, you had to put in new windows.
Well, they're money pits
and things like that. Well, I mean, like plumbing, if it's like lead pipes, do those have to be changed?
How about a chimney
or things?
I mean,
or no?
That stuff, it all costs, and
Yeah.
you have to know that going in.
Yeah.
You
like,
do.
look,
You do.
this, and what we did, we bought it, we've been there forever, but we just allocated $10,000 a year for improvements.
Yeah.
And you say, well, gee, that sounds like a lot. And you can spend it. And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
things that you have to do. There's things that you want to do. But so
Do you
10
tell
years,
people that? I mean, what he's saying right now,
Well,
you know, for potential buyers, that hey, just so you know,
you should budget for that, because it's not like you buy these newer houses that are 15
everything-
years old. It's like they're vinyl siding or aluminum, but there's no
everything's to
maintenance.
code.
But this
Yeah.
stuff you got to tuck point, and that's expensive.
Well, that's why that update sheet is so important.
Yeah.
You know, that the sellers fill out. You know, these older homes.
Right.
That update sheet tells you so many.
Yeah, but this
so
house
many
was
good things.
so beautiful.
Right.
So they've
It
done
was.
such a great
Ton of
job,
updates.
and that you find that a lot in Astor Park. So when that hits, I think it's going to go fast. But
Can you tell us the street?
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it's not our listing.
Okay,
so I'm not going to say.
okay.
Yeah,
But
so it's one of our agents.
we're talking about this. This weekend is the house walk in Astor Park.
Oh, really?
So there's 6 houses that are open where people kind of come in and you show them around. We've done that. But then there's probably 30 other houses that just put a sign in front and it just tells you a little bit of the house. We'll do that at our house. The chandeliers from here and it's built in this year. But it's just and I hope the weather holds, but it's a nice time to walk around that neighborhood and just see these 40 houses that are open. It costs money to go into the houses. I don't know what they charge for that, but you can walk around and just look at houses, and there's a sign in front that you were looking for.
Yeah.
And they're all been pretty well researched, and they got pictures too.
It's so cool.
I bet it's fun for you guys even when you get a listing, like just to walk around and
Well,
kind
the
of
character. You cannot afford that character in a new home. I mean, it's so fun to get in homes that are different.
That's what
like
used
that.
to bug me when we did that thing when I was working for and what was the name again? Love It, Live Here or something?
Yeah, on the
Green
west
Bay.
side.
Yeah, and we go into these houses, beautiful old houses, even on like Ashland and some of those places.
Yeah,
but they were rentals.
Yeah,
and all that beautiful woodwork was painted over and just trashed, and it's like, oh,
I know. Yeah.
You're
I know.
destroying history here. This is Green Bay. This is the foundation of beautiful Green Bay, and absentee landlords. And
I know. Yeah, it can be hard, but so many in Astor Park. It's just, they're gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
So are the owners at the house in this
The
Astor Park
6.
walk?
The 6 houses that are open, they'll be there, and they'll invite you in and show you some things. The other 36, I think, or 34, I think there's 40 houses. We'll just have signs in front. I mean, we're not going to be home, but I mean, you can just look at that and say, oh, this is cool. But yeah, we do that every year. And we would have done, we're going to a wedding this weekend. We would have opened our house up. We did it like 5-6 years ago, and it's fun. People come in and they're like, wow, this is cool. And but you talk about at the end of that, it's expensive. It's also, nobody builds 2 staircases, one for the maid and one for, because it's a waste of space. It's a waste of money. And staircases are really expensive too. But it's just cool to have that stuff that probably isn't going to be built again. But
you're living history.
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to say. At an expense.
Yeah. It is an expense.
I talk to young kids and they're like, "Oh God, man, this cool house. I think I want to live in this neighborhood." I'm like, "Dude, that's fine. We'd love to have you in the neighborhood, but just know
what you're getting into.
Don't put all your money into the house because Anyway, it's great. And you get up to do the electricity, and they have that. What is that, tube and wire or whatever? That
Knob and tube.
It's like, oh, is this stuff? The guy's like, oh man, this all has to go.
And like you and I both said when we were both realtors, people would ask about what type of furnace, what kind of, and we were like, I don't know, but feel it's good.
Yeah,
Feel the heat coming off.
It works.
And people would say that, how does it work? It's like just dandy.
Does this have a boiler? Does this have
that thing is pushing heat.
See, that's why I bring Ben with me.
Right.
So when we show homes, it's really nice because he knows all the basement and garage stuff, and I can just focus on.
I hated getting those questions from people.
I know.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. I know there's sometimes.
He had a carriage house and he tore it down. Can you believe
Well,
that?
it just really, I don't know, John. It was a garage. It was an old garage that was too close to my home, and I could only fit. It wasn't. You couldn't even fit an SUV in there. It was just no.
Sure.
So we bought the lot behind us, and then we.
And he didn't like his neighbor, so he got it rezoned. So they had to move.
That is kind of true.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're dealing with
here.
Mayor Daley here.
No, no, that's not really the whole truth. I don't. I tried.
We won't say anything.
It was 7 feet next to me, and there was a curb cut, so he'd park his car kind of. I looked at it as my front yard. I didn't like that, so I kept trying to buy it from him, and this and 10, 15, and say, come on, he wouldn't sell to me. So I ended up bought his house. And then I rezoned it. Then I sold the house.
That's our marriage.
And took out the curb cut, so it'll never go back.
So now we know who to talk to.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Wow.
I think you live in a house and you also live in a neighborhood, and I just did. And people were like, "That's crazy," but it was legal that he could do that, and I'm like, he wasn't very cooperative. So I did take care of others.
You do, and that's a good point for buyers. You have to pick out the neighborhood too. So
Absolutely.
Because there's so many different neighborhoods with housing associations or on golf courses where they allow certain things, they don't allow others. So you're really picking picking out a home and a neighborhood.
No question.
We got a guy who lived in our neighborhood and then moved to North Carolina, and is moving back, and he's trying to buy the house in our neighborhood that he lived in, which is kind of cool. It says a lot because it's that the house
says a lot for the neighborhood.
Right, the house is a decent. It's a good house. I mean, it's just a decent house, but it's the neighborhood. Him and his wife, obviously, they really liked it. So they just last Saturday they're talking to the owners, and they're like, "Well, we're not really interested in selling." It's like, how uninterested are you? One of those things.
But I think that says wonders for the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Ben's dad kind of bought. Your dad bought your grandpa's house, right? So it's kind of the house he grew up in, and then you guys grew up in it.
Oh, that's
I think
cool.
that's kind of cool.
Well, that's cool. All right, we're going to be talking real estate. What's hot in the market? What's going on these days? I don't even want to talk interest rates because that's all over the place, but we'll just talk about what's hot and everything like that with the Malcors. They are awesome. Great to have Ben and Deanna here. Quick break, 1 minute, and we'll be right back.
Father wears his Sunday best. Mother's tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Join Lou Rugani for the Music of the Stars every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. until noon. Lou brings back the nostalgia from the golden age of radio with the music, drama, and comedy shows that made radio magic. Music of the Stars is sponsored by Lakeland Care, providing personalized support that aims to improve quality of life and maintain independence for elders and those with disabilities. It's the Music of the Stars, Sunday at 7 on 97.9 FM and 1590 AM WGBW, Talk of Green Bay.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to the Talk of Green.
Hey, welcome back. Maino the Mayor. We're with Ben and Deanna Malcor, Bay Area Realty. They are experts in the business of realty. Any questions you have, get a quick text here. Have you ever had people talk about neighbors' political signs when selling? Would that be a positive or a negative?
Yeah, you know what? We tell all of our sellers, take off anything that you can or take out anything that is political or religious, because those are two things that can really set people off.
Wow.
When it's your neighbor, that's a whole different conversation.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know that we've ever...
I have. I mean, we live in a world of extremes, right? So it's inevitably you're eliminating 50% of the buyer pool if you throw a political sign out there.
It's one of those, this too shall pass.
We have
you can't, politics is, like you said, it's pretty divisive right now, but I mean, that wouldn't stop me because, that sign's going to be gone November 6th, so.
Sure.
I had people tell me when I was in real estate, they would not buy a house that had a Schmidt for Mayor sign. I'm just being honest.
So you had that house.
I had that one house. By the way, did I show you that picture somebody sent me yesterday? This was election day of you with one of your signs. You were a lot younger and a lot thinner.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
I think Jason Jerry posted that.
Yes. Just being honest.
Okay, let's move on.
I know. It goes quickly, doesn't it?
We talk about real estate, bricks and mortars, neighborhoods, but there's a whole industry enhancement going on right now.
There's an antitrust settlement. I don't think it's officially approved until November, but it is changing a little bit on how we work. And
this is land. I mean, this is big.
Yeah. There are parts of it that seem like they are a huge change, but on the backside, they really aren't.
Well,
too
and
much.
that's just it. Here in Wisconsin, the lawyers that have written up the contracts, which are state-approved forms, have done an exceptional job. So for us here in Wisconsin, not a lot by way of huge changes.
Yeah.
Just enhancements.
But just the fact that something happened like that.
Yeah. The problem is probably more so than anything is misinformation that's out there.
You're right.
So,
You're right.
You know, so like buyer agents, you know.
And I've actually read about this, and I thought, well, I'm going to wait for Ben and Deanna to explain it to me.
I know. Well, I know, you know, there's so much talk about how buyer agent gets paid.
Yes.
And that really can come in the 4 different forms. So when you are an agent for a buyer, you can get paid what's called firm to firm, which is kind of what is, you know, I'm not going to say necessarily standard, but what happens more frequently now and probably will stay that way in the future because it is in the seller's best interest.
Right.
They can get paid directly from the seller itself. So if you can write it into the offer to purchase, there's a new section in there where you can have the seller pay the buyer's firm, or they can get paid by the buyer. And that can come out of some seller concessions, or it can come out of their own checkbook. So there are many different ways and a combination of all of them. So if there is a certain percentage that's given firm to firm, then that agent can go and ask the seller if they would be willing to make the difference up of what they get paid, because they do work hard. Seller or buyer agents, they're traveling all over.
It's, I mean, I can honestly say there were months I lost money from gas and stuff like
That's
that.
just
Versus,
it. There's some buyers that we've been working with for years that are just waiting for they love their home, but they're waiting for their next home, and they're not going to do it until they find the perfect one, which is great, and I understand that. But buyer agents, they work hard. They work for a long time. They write a lot of offers to get somebody in a home.
Absolutely.
So it's just a matter of laying out, being a little bit more transparent about how that happens. But what has happened in the past, which is that firm to firm compensation. So you pay your listing agent a certain percentage, and then that listing agent that firm turns around and pays the buyer agent firm. That's how it's really traditionally been done in the past, and I think it'll go forward still with that same mentality.
I had a listing one time, and the lady called me after it was all over. She says, I'm kind of disappointed. I said, why? I mean, this whole thing. She goes, I just saw the commission you made, $12,000. I'm like, no. I've got like 2% of that. If that, you know, people don't realize that doesn't all go to those people. It's broken way expensive. That pie is split in a lot of little pieces.
There is a lot of pieces of the pie for sure.
I mean, like $1,200, maybe. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah. So it's one of the things that in the old contracts that we used in our listing contracts, I'm not going to say that was the agent's decision on what that firm to firm compensation was going to be, but the new contracts make it very transparent that the seller needs to approve that amount.
That's great.
So it is really great. So it makes the listing agent explain the process a little bit more. So I do think that so many things that have come to light in this settlement are really good. I think it's going to open up lines of communication.
And you're right, transparency, because even people are like, what are closing costs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a term that you hear, but what exactly is that?
Yeah. And you know what? Your agent can get that for you at any time. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So they can lay out some different scenarios. And, we get ours direct from the title company. We don't like to play with numbers.
Right.
So we want it to come from the actual person who's going to be closing that transaction for you.
So what does Bay Area Realty have going on? What's hot?
Oh my goodness, what is that? Well, we're going to be at Farmers Market slinging beers next week.
Really?
Yeah. Next Wednesday.
Nice.
I will stop down. Todd's giving a
I know, right? We love working the Farmers Market and the beer tent. So it's a great time for our agents just to come out, have fun, be involved in the community. Yeah.
This coming Wednesday or next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Yeah. Fantastic. Week from tonight.
Week from tonight.
I will be there.
It is Wednesday. My word.
I know. I know. Yeah, crazy.
Are there trends right now of what people are looking for? Like I said, walking through Astor Park yesterday, it's like, oh my God, I'd give anything to have a cool old character type house. When we built a house and stuff like that, it was like a certain trend. And you and I talked a little bit about this is with what's her name, Chip and Diana.
Yeah.
Or Chip and
Yeah. Joanna Gaines.
Joanna. Where they were doing it was like, the shiplap and different things.
Oh yeah.
Is there a trend right now that's hot when people say, I would love to find a yada yada?
Yeah.
That orange shake.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Because they do.
I totally missed that.
The problem is they change so fast sometimes.
They do.
The trends.
They do.
Yeah.
Honestly, something that's happening right now that I see, and especially in new construction, is a lot of work. Number one, gold is coming back when it comes to hardware. Yeah, gold fixtures. So, the handles on your sink or in the kitchen, whatnot. So gold is making a comeback. The cabinets, You're starting to see colors, people painting the cabinets, different colors, very, very conservative colors.
Yeah.
But
that and back to kind of that, wood stain. You're not seeing white as much as you.
You talked about the gray and white was so big for a while.
Oh my gosh,
that was just crazy. Okay, we've got another guest coming up. Can you guys stick around? I want to do another segment with you after this next, because there's some things I want to talk about with real estate. I got questions for you.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't good in real estate, but I'm still fascinated by real estate. And it's great talking to experts. I'm just being honest. We got to send a quick break. We'll be back with Keith Paprin, Challenge the Outdoors. Wonderful, wonderful organization. Back after this.
Sisters sighing in her sleep. Brothers got a date to keep. You can't hang around.
This is the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Maggie Dawn.
Next up, I've got the chair of the Wisconsin Democratic Party, Ben Wickler, will be talking about the DNC and the implosion of the GOP. Don't miss it.
The Maggie Dawn Show, weekday afternoons from 2 till 4.
And now for the Pella Play-by-Play, I'm Jeff Lettering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 3 years with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free and home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW 1590 AM Denmark, W250 CV Green Bay, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Tropical storm Ernesto strengthening as it swings north of Puerto Rico. Winds about 60 miles an hour. People are being warned to stay out of the ocean. Puerto Rico's main energy provider is asking people to call if they detect outages. The U.S. continues working to get ceasefire talks going again in the Middle East. That as Israel braces for a possible attack from Iran, the State Department approving $20 billion in new weaponry sales to Israel. Ukrainian troops continue their offensive into Russia. ABC chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell has more.
Another region of Russia declaring a state of emergency over Ukraine's audacious operation across the border. Overnight, the governor of the border region of Belgorod calling the situation very difficult following attacks by Ukrainian forces, saying houses are destroyed, civilians dead and injured. Belgorod, of course, being used to launch consistent deadly attacks on Ukraine.
ABC's Ian Pannell. This is ABC News.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.fm.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Wisconsin voters say no to 2 questions to amend the state constitution. Melissa Kay reports.
The executive branch will retain the sole power to execute all federal funds, as it has since 1930. This means when federal funds are directed to the state, the governor has the power to accept them and get those funds quickly to where they are most needed. I'm Melissa Kay, Civic Media News.
Rebecca Cook is the winner in the 3rd Congressional District Democratic primary in western Wisconsin. She takes on Republican incumbent Derek Van Orden in November. Tony Weed is the winner in northeast Wisconsin's 8th U.S. House seat Republican primary. He faces Democrat Kristen Lyerly in the general election. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Voters turned out to choose nominees in primaries for several state and federal contests yesterday. One of the most hotly contested races was for the 8th Congressional District. Trump-endorsed Green Bay businessman Tony Weed faced off against 2 seasoned state legislators in 2 elections. One was for the remainder of Mike Gallagher's current term until January. The other is for the full-term election. Tony Weed won both primaries and will be the one to face Dr. Kristen Lyerly in the November 5th ballot. Brown County Executive Troy Streckenbach says the 2.29% population growth the county has seen since the 2020 census is thanks to wise infrastructure investments like the VV29 interchange, the Southbridge Connector, and the Denmark Business Development Project. Brown County ranked third highest of the 72 counties in Wisconsin for adding residents and population increase. And that's what you need to know. I'm Lisa Hale, WGBW News.
The Brewers reboot for L.A. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Brewers lost again last night at home to the Dodgers. Final score 7-2 in favor of Los Angeles. William Contreras with his 15th home run of the year, about the only highlight from Milwaukee. Tonight, it's Frankie Montas on the mound for the Brewers against the Dodgers' Walker Buehler. NFL. Matt LaFleur asked if he's concerned about running back A.J. Dillon's performance against the Browns.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of daylight to run the ball, and certainly when you have 3 cracks at it to get a yard and you don't get it done, I mean, that's a problem.
Dillon only gained 2 yards on 4 carries and had this to say.
I graded a 98%. If you know football, you watch the tape and you don't look at the stats and you are actually put yourself in the game, somebody else go out there and do more than what I did. If you don't live inside my house, your opinion to me is so secondary that I couldn't be bothered with it. And I promise you, everybody in this building is working their ass off to do the best they can.
That's Packers running back A.J. Dillon. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Sunny this morning with clouds increasing this afternoon. We'll get into the low 80s for a high today with wind out of the south at 5 to 15. Showers and thunder showers tonight, tomorrow, into tomorrow night. Some locally heavy rainfall amounts of an inch or more possible. Our high tomorrow in the low 70s. Scattered rain will continue through Thursday into Friday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Right now it's 64.
Hi, it's Jim Schmidt and John Maino from Maino and the Mayor.
Join us live on location Tuesday morning, August 27th from 6 to 9. We'll broadcast from Simple Life Hospitality's Green and Gold Party House across from Lambeau Field. Even the Packer Band will be there.
Can't make it in the morning? Swing by their open house from noon till 6. Enjoy snacks, sign up for prizes, and take a tour.
Love what you see? Well, then be the first to book the house for your Green and Gold Bash before somebody else grabs it. That's Tuesday morning, August 27th, live from 6 to 9.
See you there.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, it's Wednesday. That means it's time for Public Service Announcement with Dr. Laura Hanks. If you have a question for the doctor, just send it to janesays@civicmedia.us.
Matnair on air, weekday mornings at 10.
You're listening to the
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor.
Begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive.
And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back. Maino and the Mayor here on a beautiful Wednesday morning. We are going to have the Melkors for an encore coming up in a few minutes. But first, we've got a gentleman talking about a wonderful, wonderful organization in Brown County.
Yeah, we talk about Brown County, and I, as you all know, the number one place to live in the United States, and they looked at a lot of things, and one of them was really the compassion, the caring that we have for people. And we got a guy with us, Keith Pamperin, who has worked for the city. We worked together for years and years. It's funny, we were reminiscing. His first project was building the Port Plaza Mall. My project
and yours was tearing it down.
And mine was tearing it down.
Great to have you both.
Yeah,
Yin and the yang.
Keith worked in the planning department and really focused a lot in housing too. And you, how do I say that? You're in a wheelchair. Are you in a wheelchair? Or you're just you?
Yes, I'm in a mobility scooter right now.
A mobility scooter, all right. But you have continued to be active, and you took that to another step, and you have an organization now called Challenge the Outdoors. So tell us about that, Keith. Talk a little closer to the mic here, buddy.
Well, Challenge the Outdoors is a all volunteer, 501c3, not for profit, donor supported.
Nice.
And we put on events, hunting, fishing, shooting, sporting events for people with disabilities. Been in existence since 1998. We're excited to announce that this coming Sunday, we're going to have our grand opening of our Peters Pond project out at Angelica. It's about 20 miles west on Highway 29. But this is an exciting opportunity for us, the first time we've ever owned property.
Well, that's awesome.
And that will be fishing. What are you going to do there?
Yes. Actually, we have a very generous donor, Steve and Christy Noyen, who purchased this property, 13 acres, with a 7-acre pond on it. They developed a clubhouse, built accessible trails all around the pond with 5 accessible aluminum fishing piers. The pond will be stocked.
Wow.
And in the Sunday, we will have our open house from 1 to 4 p.m. Everybody's invited. We're going to have a pig roast. So come on out.
Will you have side pork?
Yeah, we had that yesterday, Pete.
It's on our new diet plan.
We don't need that.
Deep fried. I had a good friend text me. She said, it's better on a grill than deep fried.
I don't care if it's on a silver platter. I don't want it. No, I will eat it. I can't. Hey, Pete, but this is kind of the culmination of a lot of years of you've taken people. You've gone hunting, fishing.
And I just want to say this, and I did things with you guys years ago when I was in TV, and I remember when you guys started and everything, there were no opportunities for disabled people for the outdoor. There were none. Unless somebody took somebody to a deer stand and just put them in the deer stand. What you guys have done to open up the opportunity for sports people is incredible.
Well, each year we have a disabled hunt for deer for people with not the deer aren't disabled. Maybe they are after.
I was going to say after you get them, Keith.
Maybe after we hunt them.
Yeah.
But we have about 55 people that disabled people that hunt during this hunt every fall. We also have a turkey hunt in the spring. We have numerous fishing outings, charter fishing, trout fishing, that kind of thing.
I know there's a duck hunting thing around Abrams, around that area, and it was such a cool thing. It was a young guy for his Eagle Scout project built this beautiful thing for disabled hunters.
Sure, and in fact, Challenge the Outdoors was involved in that.
Okay.
We funded the accessible trails.
Okay.
And the accessible hunting blinds at the Abrams Project with the Wisconsin Duck Hunters Association.
Right. So Noonans are the ones who made this.
Yes.
And
yes.
Keith Pampern, are you the executive director, or you everything you get involved in, you kind of take a leadership role?
No, I'm just on the board of directors. I'm a volunteer. I've been on the board for about 14 years. I got selected to do this interview.
Keith, you know what's? I just want to throw one quick thing on here, Jim. What's sad, but yet a bright spot in a bad situation. I know at least 2 people who were disabled because of falling out of tree stands.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you guys said, "Hey, this doesn't mean you
You've
have to
done
stop
hunting.
hunting deer." And that changed their lives, because I know one guy was in such a deep depression that he'd never do that again. That was his passion,
right?
And you guys changed it.
We have numerous members that, in fact, have become paralyzed by falling out of a tree in a deer stand. Interesting enough, we have a trap shooting team. We have 7 members, all in wheelchairs, and the name of our team is the Sitting Ducks.
That's beautiful.
That's funny.
And we shoot at Brown County Sportsman's Club, but and all of them came from Challenge the Outdoors.
2 things here, Keith. People who are just learning about this today, saying, "Look, so-and-so's in a wheelchair and love fishing and hunting, and we just don't know how to take them out there. How do they get in contact with you?" And then I want to talk the other side. I want to talk about how we can help you financially, but do the first part.
Well, they can go onto our website. It's www.ctoforme.org, and you'll be able to see the events that we have.
So CTO, just say www.cto, which obviously is Challenge the Outdoors, For me, is it a F-O-R or
F-O-R,
Okay.
capital M-E.
All right, fine. Okay. All right. So
And on that website, it'll show how to become a member. By the way, John, I know that you're an advocate for veterans.
Sure.
We provide free membership to all veterans.
Awesome.
So anybody that's a veteran and wants to, a disabled veteran,
Sure,
that wants to participate, you're welcome and free.
I think you've got a phenomenal
what a
organization.
nice gift to give someone, your brother or someone, to buy them a membership in CTO.
And our membership cost is outrageous, $20 a year.
I don't know about that. I had a really good friend years ago who worked for the DNR, and he was paralyzed from the waist down from a tree falling on him. Jeff Pagels.
He's on my trap team.
There you go. You want to talk about a guy who did not a big, strong, athletic guy, and instead of sitting and feeling sorry for himself, you want to talk about a perfect inspirational example of you don't quit, you just keep. You got a big challenge, and you just move on. Isn't he a great guy?
Super guy, and he's got an excellent book that he wrote called "Always Climb Higher."
I didn't know that about climbing Mount Everest or whatever. Didn't he do?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You should.
Love to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Keith, the CTO, these activities. How many activities is it year round? Do you fish? You hunt?
It's year round. Obviously, during the seasons.
Right.
The second week in October is the DNR hunt for persons with disabilities, and we have our deer hunt at that time. In the spring, we have a turkey hunt.
Wow.
We have trout fishing spring and fall at Wilderness Springs. Then we have a salmon outing, 2 different dates on Lake Michigan. During the wintertime, we also have social events like the Green Bay Blizzard, the Gamblers.
That's awesome.
Rockers, Timber Rattlers.
We were talking about all this stuff as we get a little bit older about living longer, but you really, one of the things about living a healthy life longer is the socialization. And I think that sometimes that gets underscored. It doesn't get underscored. It gets overlooked, and it's like, well, he's eating right and he's walking every day, but you got to have that social interaction to really live a healthier life.
Absolutely. Loneliness, and particularly for people with disabilities, is one of the most difficult issues. We have about 4 or 5 blind members, and if you want to see it put smiles on someone's face, you should see a blind lady shoot a turkey.
Wow, that's awesome.
And we've also had 2 blind people that have harvested deer. Challenge Outdoors provides specialized equipment for that purpose, and it's really cool.
What do you do for fundraising? Because we'd love to promote whatever you've got going on.
Well, in April, actually the first weekend in April, every year we have our Sporting Clays shoot out at J&H. That's our major fundraiser. Just last year, we started a second fundraiser because now we have this property that we have to manage. And so we have a banquet in January, and we'll be having another banquet this coming January at Stadium View. I can get that information to you.
Please do. Absolutely, really, Keith, this you're just such an awesome person, but this is good stuff. I mean, this is really, really great. And to someone to know that life's not over. I mean, I'd love to hunt and got paralyzed.
Whatever you did before, these guys will find a way. You'll do it afterwards. Yeah.
Well, we have one member that actually, when we learn about people who have had an accident, and then they're in the hospital, we have one member that goes to the hospital and visits them and tells them exactly that. Life is not over.
No.
We've got a lot of good opportunities for you to participate.
And again, I just want to mention the socialization part of it too is so healthy.
Yep.
I think that's great. Fishing, but my dad never let us talk when we went fishing, but you guys can come.
The other interesting thing about Challenge Outdoors is the board of directors is all volunteers, and most of them have disabilities. So we have people with disabilities planning events and activities.
Who knows better?
Is there anything you guys are missing that, the community could, or we could promote or get together? I mean, I know you have wonderful support, but is there anything that's missing?
Well, we're starting out on the north end of this 13-acre property. We're starting out. We want to build a a Vita course for people in wheelchairs to exercise.
Oh,
and
nice.
we want to build a 3D archery range.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be our next effort after we get this.
Please keep us in the loop on that.
Yeah, and some of these chamber organizations that do community projects, Eagles. What a great opportunity, because you're going to need a lot of stuff around that 17 acres.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever we can do, you got it.
Yeah. Keith,
right.
this is great. Thanks for doing this. I mean, you could have, you worked for the city for how many years?
38 years.
38 years. Okay. And I'm sure you could have just retired, but instead you're giving back again. I just think the world of you. You're a good guy.
Well, I think anytime we can help people,
all right,
that we need to do that.
Yeah.
And I work for the but help out the amputee veterans program. You people are the most, I don't want to say inspirational.
They are.
But you guys you cut through the BS better than anybody and just get bleep
You do
done.
it right.
That's
you get it done.
Keith Pamperin, Challenge Outdoors, tremendous organization. Whatever we can do, you're you got us.
CTOforme.com.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you so much. Back right after this. Hey, welcome back. Special thanks to Keith Pamperin, Challenge Outdoors. Wonderful organization.
and a
We
good
will
guy.
support them every step of the way, whatever we can do.
Yeah, he's a
no
good guy.
question about it. Ben and Deanna Malco are back because we've had some questions come through that we want. For Ben and Deanna, what are some of the things people should look for in the basement of a home they're looking at buying besides heat and water and things like that?
Yeah. So great question. First and foremost, you look at the heating. I usually check the side of the furnace, see if there's a sticker on it, see if there's been yearly maintenance on it. Water heater, they'll usually have a date on it. The plumber will write sometimes at the very top of the water heater the date that they installed it.
What is the general life expectancy? Because, again, that's one of those questions I used to get. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, for a water heater, roughly.
Oh, this thing's got a lot of life left in it.
That was good. Oh, yeah. Make the water hotter than hell.
It's looking
working
good.
today.
Looking good. Yeah. No, water heater, you're probably looking at about 10 years.
Right.
10 years out of a water heater. Maybe a little bit
I
more.
mean, it really depends on what kind, too.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And I just want to say, you talked about maintenance. We talked about maintenance on older houses, but every house should get that stuff checked every year.
Yeah.
And it's not that expensive if you get on a program with them. They don't like when you just call them out of the blue, and then it's they put you in a queue, and it's like months. But if you set it up where you come in every March or whatever to come in and check that, I think that's a good thing. It's going to help you sell your house too when you hand them that.
Well, it shows,
like your car.
It shows the potential buyers that you keep up on maintenance.
Exactly.
So if you're doing it for your air conditioner and your furnace and your water heater, they just assume you do it for everything, which you should be.
Yeah.
But it's it's one of those signs that it lets the buyer know, like, these people take good care of this house.
Well, we were even talking about that because we talk about Pella windows and doors and everything, and talk about how what's it, ROI?
Yes, the return on
Return
investment.
on investment.
Everybody knows that. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Jim. Wow, let's talk more about how you outzoned your neighbor. But when you walk up to a house to look at a house, that front door says something about who lives there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Though?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. For sure. Go ahead. Are we going to?
No, just things are expensive, but a front door I think is overlooked sometimes.
Yeah.
And man,
It is.
there's so many out there now.
Yeah.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, I love how we go from basement to front door.
Absolutely.
Right. Well,
but you know, another thing I had
Or
somebody
ADD,
text me earlier said, what are red flags? They were going to be looking for a house. What are some of the red flags that the actual buyer, not even just their realtor or anything like that, their buyer's agent, what should they look for that might be red flags about a place?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to basements, and I pay very, very close attention to the walls. So,
Sure.
you know, are there any cracks? Are the cracks straight up and down, which is actually okay if they're not too gaping and it doesn't look like things are leaking. If the cracks are at a diagonal, that's usually a bad sign. Usually means that there's movement in the soil. Perhaps during construction, it was backfilled too soon. So things are starting to crack in the corners. As you get closer to Lambeau, just because of the way the soil is over there, you'll see a lot of movement in the basement walls. A lot of those are block foundations. So you'll see supports up against the wall preventing any further movement. And that just has to do with the type of the soil and, you know, the climate that we live in. You know,
concrete cracks. I mean, that's what we say.
Cracks,
but there's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of look for the bad.
Isn't there something we said when you have block, if it like comes down and then over and down and over, isn't that a sign of something for, like, it's either a really good sign or not, I shouldn't say a really good sign, but it's something that's just like really normal versus something that would be a defect.
Yeah, you know, usually, you know, the best rule of thumb is to put a nice long level up against the wall, and if you see that, they call it stair stepping cracking.
Yes,
in the block foundations. If it's off plumb, you know, then you should probably. I think it's about an inch and a half, at which point they have to intervene and bracket the wall.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that before. They put like a metal plate, and like a big bolt. Or something, right?
Yep. That's
there's
one way to do it.
There's a couple different ways to do it.
Yeah, another way is a steel beam. So you screw it up into the floor joists, and then it goes down into the concrete floor as well. That's another way to bracket a wall and prevent further movement.
I will say one thing. I was shocked. If this sounds like such a little thing, but if the grading of your soil outside the foundation isn't right, I listed a house one time in downtown, this area pretty much. And the neighbor, you would have outzoned this guy. For 40 years, his downspout was aimed at the neighbor.
Oh, sure.
And all that, but they were great friends, so nobody thought anything of it.
Sure.
And it was so bad then, what that did to the foundation. Water, just rainwater off a downspout can cause so much damage. It's mind-boggling.
So much of the water damage that we see in basements, honestly, is from either the grading, not being graded right, or not having those gutters.
Isn't that crazy?
And those
little things.
Right.
Little
those
things.
those can be fixed.
Yeah, definitely. And
or you can buy his house and rezone it. But there's a lot of
get his ass out of there. You're out. Don't you know who I am?
It wasn't there.
And then water. You know, you look for water is pretty. I mean, even just the markings of it. You can look at a basement wall and know if there's been water issues, you know, in the basement.
I mean, there is one exception to that, and that is, you know, kind of going back to Astor Park, is that a lot of these older homes, they didn't have drain tiles that were put in. So while the foundation is super structurally sound, usually, you know, 2.5, 3 feet, you know, in thickness, these basement walls, they do tend to seep water periodically just because there's not a drain tile there.
But you can put in drain tiles.
You could put in a drain tile if you want, a sump pump, but you know, it's
you're right. There's more risk there. I would say.
You guys mentioned something about the old homes. Was it tube and wire? What's the
Knob
tube? Is that like, if you were to do a defect thing, would that be one to let people know this is from 1926 when this was put in?
Yeah, I mean, there is actually a question on the real estate condition report regarding knob and tube. So, you know, people do their best to answer it correctly, but inevitably, you're doing all the electrical work on the outside that's visual.
Right.
You really don't know what's behind the walls. So, you hate to speculate,
Yeah.
but,
Well, and that goes back to the water damage. Like, you can see it anywhere, whether it's in the, sometimes you look up on a ceiling in the living room and you'll see it. It's not always necessarily a bad thing. It could have been old water damage that they fixed the problem. So don't just assume if you see some water damage that you don't want this house. We need to do a little bit more investigating on why that's there and has it been taken care
One
of.
other thing I remember taking the test, we had to learn so much about asbestos and stuff like that.
Sure.
But then if it's not, if nobody tears into it, it's okay, right? Because that's like a scary term. Oh my God, it's got because I've showed a house where it's like, oh my God, that looks like that pipe is wrapped in asbestos. I'm never buying this house. But that's not a total red flag, correct?
Okay,
no. Okay.
Yeah,
well, I used to tell them that. Don't worry about it. I used to have fires with asbestos. And
It's just a little seepage.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
a little septic.
asbestos is your friend.
You see,
just pull it off.
Now might be a good time to apologize.
I got a guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, they're all dead.
You see what happens? You end up in radio. That's what happens.
Exactly. All right, we got to set a break. All right, do you guys can you guys stick around? We got Terry Barr coming up because I got more questions for you guys.
You got it.
Ben and Deanna Malcor, we don't want to let them go. We got Terry Barr coming up. Slice of Wisconsin back after this.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Todd Allball Show.
This is your local civic media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Tony Weed is the winner in Northeast Wisconsin's 8th U.S. House seat Republican primary. Lisa Hale reports.
Weed faced off against State Senator Andre Jacques and former State Senator Roger Roth in 2 elections for the 8th Congressional District. One was for the remainder of Congressman Mike Gallagher's current term, which ends in January. The other was for a full term. Tony Weed will be the one to face Democrat Kristen Lyerly on the November 5th ballot. I'm Lisa Hale.
Rebecca Cook emerges from a heated Democratic primary in western Wisconsin's 3rd District for the right to take on Republican incumbent Derek Van Orden. Also, Wisconsin voters reject 2 constitutional amendment questions to move federal funds distribution from the governor to state lawmakers. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. The general election races are now set. In Wisconsin Assembly District 1, Democrat Renee Palpum of Kewanee will take on Republican incumbent Joe Kitchens of Sturgeon Bay. In Wisconsin Assembly District 4, Democrat Jane Benson of Swamico will take on Republican incumbent David Steffen of Green Bay. In Wisconsin Assembly 6, we'll see Shirley Hinz, a Democrat from Shawano, taking on Elijah Benke. And in Wisconsin Assembly District 25, Stephen Welch of Two Rivers will take on Republican Paul Tittle of Manitowoc. The city of Neenah has joined with the American Legion Post 33 to bring a new Veterans Memorial to Shattuck Park. The project will add 6 flagpoles and flags for all branches of the U.S. military: Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Navy, and Space Force. Shattuck Park is the location for all of Neenah's Veterans Day celebrations. And that's what you need to know. I'm Lisa Hale, WGBW News.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Nick Cannon says he would love to get back together with his first and only wife, Mariah Carey, and he told E! News they belong together. The problem? He says she doesn't want him. The couple divorced in 2016 after 8 years of marriage. Cannon is the host of several shows, including The Masked Singer. But despite a crazy busy schedule, he still found time to sire most of the children born in America over the last 2 decades, including 2 with Carey. Fans of Colin Jost's Wiki feed page will have to wait for some new material. The SNL cast member was covering the Olympic surfing competition when he cut his foot on a coral reef and developed a staph infection, which then became an ear infection. Injury aside, the news from Tahiti wasn't all bad for Jost. While recuperating, it was announced he will host the new Jeopardy spinoff, where foot injuries are few and far between. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
Sunny this morning with clouds increasing this afternoon. We'll get into the low 80s for a high today with wind out of the south at 5 to 15. Showers and thunder showers tonight, tomorrow, into tomorrow night. Some locally heavy rainfall amounts of an inch or more possible. Our high tomorrow in the low 70s. Scattered rain will continue through Thursday into Friday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 66.
During life's most trying times, it helps to have someone with experience and understanding at your side. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory has attentive staff in De Pere, available 24 hours a day, and nearly 100 years of business experience, which can provide comfort during those difficult times. Call them at 920-336-3171 or visit them at ryanfh.com. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory, local people serving local families since 1926.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones. Check 511wi.gov or download the app for road work or closures on your route. Know before you go with 511 Wisconsin. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Covering all the news that affects you with humor and a unique perspective. Matinaire on Air with Jane Matinaire. Weekdays 10 till noon on the Talk of Green Bay, 97.9 FM and 1590 AM WGBW, and on the Civic Media app. Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us next time. We'll be live on location at Volk Field with the Wisconsin Air National Guard's Northern Lightning. A great training exercise. Learn all about aircrafts, pilots, and more. Join us.
The Todd Albaugh.
Okay, why are we listening to this?
I don't know.
Barry.
Todd,
Oh, is he in town?
Todd always has
Barry
a
was.
theme. Terry Barr.
Oh, Terry Barr. She likes this guy?
Hi, Terry.
Does she like this guy? Oh my! No, wait. I heard one of you is a fan of Lowe. Come on.
That Johnny.
I am.
He told
I like
people,
Barry Manilow.
and he
But
watched
his tickets were like $400
Oh,
here
yeah,
in town.
yeah, the tickets were expensive. No, but this is what he did. He told people this.
I
too,
made
so
a
I've been-
mistake.
So there was something on TV, like a sports event or
Christmas
something.
okay.
No. There was something on TV worth watching, and I said, "What'd you watch last night?" You said, "Well, I just took an Afghan," which is weird in itself, and I just sat on the sofa and I watched the Barry Manilow special. I'm like, John, we are on the air.
Things I wish I had never said. Things I wish I had never said.
But then for his birthday, I was going to go buy him tickets. I went out there, and the cheapest ticket was what, $230?
Yeah. Then they went for over
cheap
400.
ones. I know they did.
Yeah.
So he was in
Well,
Green Bay on his final tour, but they all make 3 or 4 final tours. So I'm not. I hit it
Well,
back.
that is a true thing, and everybody said he has never been better. I did not make this show, but I have seen him 4 times in the past.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But here's why we were playing that. Were any of you in high school band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you guys?
How much
Ben?
do instruments
No,
cost
I was
these
not.
days?
Deanna? No. Todd? Todd was. What did you
There
play,
we go.
Todd? I didn't know that. Drums. Oh,
All
wow.
right,
That's
guys.
cool.
I can
the old
see it.
Snare
Yeah.
drum.
Yeah, that makes,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. You guys, instruments now cost anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000. We're talking like a trumpet or a trombone.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, nothing's cheap anymore. But Barry Manilow gave to Bayport High School band director Ashley Segrist $10,000 for her band program.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, and he is doing this in every location where he has a show, this entire tour. The only other stop he had in Wisconsin was in Milwaukee, and he did the same thing for the Cudahy High School band director.
Nice.
That's cool.
You know, that's cool when they come in
Yeah.
and make something. KISS did that, right? They came in and made some donation to veterans organization, and that's nice
They
when they
always do.
right.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah,
people
I
love
know.
them anyway. But that's just and look, 10,000. That's
Yeah,
it's nice
but
to the
still,
school,
yeah.
but it's
They're not going broke.
You want to put another zero on there, Barry?
When they go to Denny's after the concert, it's like, oh, I'm not going to get the combo. That's
But anyway, it's that is just great. I mean, it's God bless them for doing that. Yeah, and band is always one of those things that's on a chopping block, just and I don't think people understand how important that is. I know. No, it's good here, but we really came close to eliminating that. It's like, no, these kids got to play music. So anyway, I went and talked in favor of band. So
that's
keeps
cool.
you out of trouble.
It does.
He's given
Good friends.
$10 million at this point.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Barry Manilow, $10 million?
Yes.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Wow, now that's
something.
And you know
a lot
what?
of money.
We've got Ben and Deanna Malco here from Bay Area Realty. Ben just said he's going to match that.
I knew I liked you guys.
Yeah. He said his agents are going to all contribute.
I'm fumbling for my wallet right now.
Yes, she is.
It's going to be a monopoly
And
money.
Deanna is smacking him in the face. Exactly.
Those type of dollars are about that
The
big.
little dollars.
Yes.
Terry, what is going on around the state of Wisconsin?
Well, let's talk 2 slices. How about that? We'll do
Okay.
a double slice of Wisconsin.
Do it.
Okay. You know the home of the hamburger, correct?
Oh yeah.
Seymour?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Okay. And how did the hamburger begin?
Yeah, I
Why
should know
was
this because
it
I might know
created?
that.
I used to do lots with them for the very first one with Hamburger Charlie and everything.
That guy
and-
came to my office. We took some promo pictures.
Yeah, he's a
That-
good friend of mine.
Yeah,
He's a football coach there for a lot of years.
Okay.
Oh, I should know.
Very
He gave me
good.
the book. I have the
Yeah.
book that he gave me.
Yeah.
How did it get started? I don't know.
2
I feel
pieces
by
of bread and
by
a slab
mistake
of
or
meat.
something.
I don't know.
Well, it wasn't ham, was it?
I don't. Tell us, Terry.
No. Who said 2 pieces of bread and a slab of meat?
That was me.
That was Ben.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. So some kid is like 10 years old. He decides he's going to, bike to the fairgrounds, and he wants to try to make a little cash. So he does. He takes a bunch of hamburger, but he makes them into like roly-poly balls and puts them on bread. And nobody can walk around and eat that. So the next year he decides, all right, I'm going to smoosh those down. There's the hamburger.
Really? And then
It's
happened in
that
Seymour.
easy. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, Bill Collar, the longtime football coach, he was Hamburger Charlie.
Yeah.
Because he looked so much like the guy that did it. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is that taking place this
Yeah.
week then? Hamburger
So
Fest?
Seymour?
Yeah, that's coming up. Yeah,
Okay.
this weekend.
Outstanding.
Woohoo.
Hey, did you go to the
All right,
state
good
fair?
timing on that.
Did you go to the state fair, Terry?
I did not make it this year.
Okay.
Oh, did you?
No, I did not. They had great attendance, I heard, though.
Yes, always. And the weather can be iffy in August, but it was good
Home
for
run.
most of their days.
Yeah, it really was.
Did you guys go to the fair?
Didn't.
Anything
No.
on a stick. Yep, that's
I've always wanted a fried Snickers bar.
yeah,
I've always wanted
on a stick.
You're going to have
Honest.
to do a long walk before that
Yeah, I know. I have to train for that.
I can just see you on the Fox River Trail with that in your hand.
Walking and eating a fried Snickers bar.
Just melting down your hand.
So could I.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, I can
All
so
over
see that.
face.
Wow. Yeah, I really can. Oh.
that is
What else is
good.
going on? This is a wonderful time of year. In fact, Jim was talking to a guy yesterday. They had we promoted a thing last week about a huge for a church. Was it Prince of
Peace.
Prince of Peace.
Kind of a newer church out in Bellevue.
They ran out of things. They had to keep by noon. There were so many people that showed up. They're going to make over $100,000 in this church picnic. But he said they scientifically tell what he said, Jim.
They looked at the weather for the summer, right? Church picnics are in the summer. And
Like researched it.
And last 11 years. And they looked in the week of the 13th, or I should say the third week of August, not really so much the day, is the best week for weather. Statistically, for no rain and no humidity, and so they picked that week, and they, like Johnny said, they cleared over 100,000. He said way over. He didn't have the numbers, but and it was great. They have a car show. They had 300 cars there. They had 350 people show up with show cars, and they had to turn 50 people away.
400 auction items.
400
raffle
auction items, and then they just, So if they pick a different week and then buy the same stuff, they're going to have to donate it to the shelter. You know, I mean, it's just it's really smart that because that's all outdoors out there, right?
Yep.
And so that's interesting, right? We look at even if I don't know if I was getting married, I would look at that week because statistically, it's the best week in the summer in Green Bay.
Interesting.
Isn't that though?
That was brilliant on their part. Yeah.
So what else you got going on, Terry?
Okay, so new slice coming out today, and we're taking a look at history of fishing rods and reels.
Oh,
Zebco.
Yeah. So this business remains in Park Falls, Wisconsin. One of the first, and now it's considered one of the best, is Sate Croy Rods and Reels. And they were the first to take a bamboo rod way back in the 30s and 40s. And people were complaining because they couldn't walk to the fishing hole or travel to wherever they wanted to go with this bamboo rod. So they figured out how to make it into a 3-piece rod and reel. First place to ever do that. And that is still their claim to fame.
And so they're very good collector items.
Oh,
The
there
originals.
you go.
Yeah.
They now have
I used to collect them.
800 plus rod
Cane
and reels
poles?
that most of them
No,
have
it's
won
not a
awards.
cane pole. No, they used to be cane poles. And what they did, like she said, they developed it where it was interlocking, where it'd be 3 parts. So it wasn't going to be like 8 feet long.
But a cane pole?
Well, it always used to be cane poles. And what they did is
It's
came
still
up. Wait,
you're listen to my question. It's still a cane pole. It just comes apart three times.
yeah.
Can you fit it? Okay.
At that time, yeah. Now,
Wow,
of
that's-
course,
Well,
everything
okay.
is
Have
with
you
all
ever
kinds
got
of-
trout fishing out in the middle of a swamp in the woods?
Me and Opie.
Oh, my
no.
And by the way, for you saying Zebco,
I have the
that
urge to
is-
whistle.
Zebco is like the lowest rung of the ladder for fishing.
All right,
Bemidji.
so that- all right,
That's
so-
Bemidji, Minnesota. Bemidji,
Bemidji,
Minnesota.
yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm from Minnesota.
Are you from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Where?
Originally, Blaine.
Blaine, where's that?
It's a little bit north of Minneapolis. So
Oh, okay.
Huge soccer complex there, so I know a lot of people travel there for
cool.
soccer tournaments and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
The girl we had on yesterday was from Hopkins High School.
Oh, yeah.
And her classmate is that girl that was like one of the greatest basketball players ever. I can't think of her name. She played at UConn. She's in the WNBA now.
Yeah.
Paige Bruckner. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
Zebco. I can't believe you brought up Zebco.
Okay,
That'd be
see?
like in those old
How dare
infomercials.
you.
The Zebco, the little pocket rocket.
All right. So do you think
Oh, my God.
I will tell you. So you
That's what he had.
no, what
That's what he had in his leader hose
Slater Hosen.
with the pouch.
you
This
think I
concealed
grew up?
pocket rocket.
You think I grew up gifted? We had Zebco.
Okay.
404. We had those.
But you fished the lake. Is
we
what I
fished the
think.
river.
Oh, the river. The East Twin?
Yeah.
Okay.
We lived on there.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Terry. I apologize for him. Go ahead.
Hey,
my
tell me a little
God.
bit that hamburger thing. Are they going to make don't they always go to Guinness for the world's largest hamburger?
Correct.
They did. I remember
made-
that, yeah.
Do they do it every year?
I don't know if
find
they
the
do
biggest
that
pan
anymore.
They can, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That is a great festival. Parking.
Bring your own cheese.
And you're, of course,
think
from the
you-
home of
yeah,
the
bring
Sunday,
your own
right?
cheese.
Oh yeah, Two Rivers.
Terry, did you know that Jim's hometown was the where the hot fudge sundae was invented?
Yes, and there's a city out east that throws us a little controversy
Shade?
once in a while, a little shade.
Oh,
But it's Two
yeah.
Rivers. It's Two Rivers. Some pharmacy guy came up with it. So
I knew that, but I didn't know that was where you're from.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I'm. a
See,
Two
we
Rivers
learn
kid.
something new every
I
day,
might
all
end
of us. I
Might
love
end
it.
up there again someday. So.
It was also the pot capital of Wisconsin when he lived there. No lie.
Well, I do hear
But-
plants grow well in Two
They do.
Rivers.
I was just going to say it was good quality. So not a lot of stems. Not a lot of stems.
Is your mom listening?
Oh yeah, my mom.
Oh yeah. Hey, stop!
No.
Don't forget that, Terry. His 92-year-old mom is listening, and she's singing the rosary at the same time.
She's going to be 92 tomorrow.
No!
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to sing happy birthday
That's
to her.
fine. She'll be listening.
Oh my gosh,
She's
Todd,
92 tomorrow.
Gotta sing happy birthday to her
April
tomorrow.
15th. I mean, August
yes,
15th.
you
Yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah, she's going to be 92 tomorrow.
And
which is pretty cool.
she's a diehard listener.
She's a diehard listener, and she's just man, she's something else. So,
I got to tell you my favorite story about her, though. So Jim is the most wonderful son. He cooks wonderful meals for her. Her favorite thing. So I think it was Mother's Day. He made this. Was it rice?
Yes, she wanted. What was it? No, yeah, she wanted. What did I make her? Wasn't chop suey? She likes that
or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh. So, but anyway, either way, he goes to the store to buy.
It was chop suey.
Teriyaki.
It was chop suey.
That's what I mean.
I made chop suey.
And it was like, $2. But there's another one. It's like $6. Like, oh my gosh, this has got to be so much better. So being the good son, he bought the most expensive teriyaki. Tell the rest of the story.
no. So then I made it for her, chop suey, and it was good. She likes it, and it made sure the pork was all tender. Making. Anyway, I brought that to her, and she wanted the cheaper chop sueys. She wanted the cheaper sauce because the stuff I got was just, Jim, this is too spicy.
He's like, hey, how did you like? He goes, how did you like the chop suey? She goes, I gave it away. It was too spicy.
Oh, no.
I know. Well, and it was, I just want to, John said $2 to $6. It was a little bit more than that. So prices are always better for your mom. So I should have just stayed with the $2 stuff.
And not to steal Terry's thunder here, but little known fact, Kiko Man soy sauce brewed here in Wisconsin as well.
Really?
Correct.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. The Kiko Man soy sauce brewed in Wisconsin.
All right, I'm getting that next time.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll bring it. Now you spoiled my surprise for my mom. I was going to bring her a bottle of Kiko sauce.
Maybe she was just rounding the corner to the crucifix and wasn't paying attention.
It's the beads, John.
The beads, whatever.
Anyway, yes. So, you can sing to her tomorrow. She'll like that.
I would love that.
Anyway.
What else you got going, Terry?
Keep busy.
Good question. I hear some music.
Yeah.
Let's dance.
This goes by way too
let's have
fast.
a Wednesday dance party.
I would do that. Terry Barr, Slice of Wisconsin. I loved working with you back in our TV days and love having you on our radio show.
Oh, and I love you guys.
All right,
so much
Terry.
fun.
Thanks for what you do for the entire state of Wisconsin and for Civic Media.
Civic Media.
You're the best. Thank
Have a
you,
great
Terry.
day.
You too. We'll be back with more of the Malcors right after this.
The Talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
This is John Maino.
And I'm Jim Schmidt, and together we're Maino and the Mayor on the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, 97.9 FM and 1590 AM, weekday mornings.
As our audience grows, we're looking to find an experienced outside marketing professional to join our Civic Media team to work with local business owners who want to grow.
Not only does WGBW reach qualified radio listeners, we help business owners reach customers on their mobile phones, tablets, even on screens at the gas pump.
The person who joins our team needs to be as motivated as we are to bring great local radio to Green Bay and Northeast Wisconsin. Someone with a creative streak and no fear of introducing themselves and us to the Green Bay business community.
If you're listening to us now, imagine how many others are and how we can help business owners reach the customers they want to do business with.
To apply, email me directly. My name is Chris Morrow, Vice President of Sales. My email address is chris.moreau@civicmedia.us. chris.moreau@civicmedia.us.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay.
Hey, welcome back. This segment brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. How do you say welcome to your guests? Say it with a new entry door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Say it with color. The possibilities are endless thanks to Pella's custom colors. Say it with class. Pella's premium doors stand out due to their distinguished craftsmanship. Say it with a great deal. Get 0% interest for up to 3 years with no money down and equal payments. Hurry up, though. This offer ends on the 31st. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit PellaWI.com. We're with the Melcors where we're talking about that, about money back versus what you spend on your house, and the front doors and the windows are so big, right? And you've done it.
The return on investment, the ROI.
I remember that term.
ROI. What is that again?
I know. I know.
You would not pass my class. I will tell you that. No, I think that speaks a lot. And we're talking about Astor Park, and they have their showcase of homes this weekend, 40 homes, 6 that you can go into. And when you walk around to those older homes, the front door makes a statement.
It does.
It does.
It does.
There's some
Yeah.
pretty cool things, and you look at what Pella does. They do the oval windows.
Yep.
Some of it's etched. Some of it you can see through. John was talking about he doesn't like this.
I don't like that when people can see into my house.
You don't?
No, do you guys?
It doesn't bother me.
Here's what I love: when you pull up to a house
Right.
and you
I know
can,
what you're going to say.
I know
what you're going to say.
I love when you can see. There's so many windows you can see right through their house. It's so cool looking. Like it.
I know. I couldn't do it though. I just.
We don't have any curtains in the living room. A lot of
Yeah,
places in
we
Astor
don't.
Park don't.
Well, I mean,
There's
we
just
do
TV.
now, but in our home we didn't.
It just, I like that openness, and I don't know.
Okay, the situation they had last night from a chafing. What would you do about that?
I would be in the bathroom, John. I wouldn't be walking around the house.
From my walk-in.
Walking around.
I
walking
couldn't
around
have anything on.
naked. I would call the police. I would
All
just,
right.
that's
Just saying.
That's
Being honest.
disorderly conduct.
Public nuisance.
In your public nuisance. That's better. That's more expensive.
And the list goes on.
It's because you're not on the ground floor.
No, but people, your home is, like I said, for many, many people, it's their biggest investment outside of maybe a
Absolutely.
business. And you want to keep it up, but if you're going to keep it up, why not keep it up with the best stuff,
Yeah.
right? And I just
Yep.
Pella was great to us. I mean, they came over, and this is before. Well, maybe. Anyway, it was probably 10 years ago. But they put together, and it's been a long-term program. It's been two windows
and
a
the
year
thing is,
for 20 years.
You're in a district where historically things have to be.
We can't
got the old windows.
Yeah, we can't use like Menard's windows.
Right.
They kind of put the
Do you
smack
explain
down
that
on
to
us.
people sometimes if they're buying a house in some of
Historic
those districts?
Oh, windows always come up when we're looking.
Yeah.
It's one of the, honestly, I feel like it's one of the first things that buyers walk to and look at the windows to
Wow.
see if they're still, the old windows, if they've been upgraded, whether they're vinyl, whether they're wood. I mean, there's
Those
so many
aluminum,
different options.
You got to clean them. You want to make sure they're really easy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to take out all
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff and the screens.
If a buyer can't open it, they're going to assume something's wrong.
Right. And-
yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be something just, like you said, not being cleaned
Yeah.
and kind of getting
But
stuck
it's kind
in
of
there.
cool when the screen's between the two panes of glass. You don't have to take it out.
Yeah.
So
Did you have like your originals? Did they have? I've seen them where they got
The
a
rope?
weight.
Yeah.
Like a,
Yeah.
Like how long ago would that be when they?
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean that's going back to
Right
I
there
would
with-
say early 1900s.
Wow.
Yeah, and
with
earlier
with the tube and wire. I had that too.
Yes.
I had that too.
Yeah.
But no, I just and I just want to say one more plug for Pella because I really love that company. The fact that they just come with like a laptop or
Yeah.
whatever those are called, and just go through different options, and it's like, yeah, that would look really cool in my house. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And you can spend a little bit more and do arched windows too, which then you got to get a carpenter in there, but they do all the work, which
Yeah.
is, and we did that upstairs.
Windows
anyways,
are
just-
expensive, so
They
make
are.
sure that you're going with a reliable company. Yeah,
And I
for
would just
sure.
want to say that it's also a budget item. I mean,
Yeah.
2
Sure.
windows a year, 3 windows a year, and but in 10 years,
Yeah.
you replace your windows.
Yep.
But not cheap.
It's
but
not
it's worth
cheap, but it makes a
I was telling
difference.
Johnny that when we did our 3rd floor, the how much
Third
it
or
reduced.
fourth?
Well, whatever.
Because you have 4 levels. Okay.
But
You can. He just put for anybody watching. He just put up the 4.
yeah, you can stand up there and look where the carriage house used to be.
Exactly.
You guys, I just want to say, I was trying to make a point here before I was rudely interrupted. It just saved the heat bill big time.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
I think our
Yeah.
payback
Oh, it
was
does.
way less than 2 years on
Yeah.
that. Which
Yeah.
is, so it's like, oh my gosh, I got to spend this kind of money. But then it's like, wait a minute, I'm going to save this kind
Yeah.
of money. So anyway, that's the things that you as
But both ways, heat and keeping the air.
Yeah.
cold
Oh,
air
for sure.
in.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
of those old windows, old homes that you can stand by the window and you
And
can
feel
feel,
it.
either the cold coming in or the heat coming in.
Get
so
this.
it's a big
We were
difference.
at a party last night. And we talked to a guy that grew up like in Denmark or something, but his bedroom, they didn't have any insulation.
Yes.
And he said that they would get a glass of water, it would be frozen in the morning.
They would sleep
goodness.
4 brothers to a bed in the winter.
Wow.
Just to be
Because it was
warm.
so- yes, just
and they
to
had
be
this
warm.
like down comfort, not down, but whatever.
Yeah.
He told us about a comforter they had there.
It's all feathers.
Yeah, sure.
Made homemade
Put it
out of
down.
feathers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure,
But I
they
don't-
could use a good
I don't think
Afghan.
they called it down.
Good Afghan.
No, there's a
But
different term.
Yeah, it was a different term. But 4 boys in a bed, and he said that on the dresser, the water would be frozen when they woke
That's
up.
crazy.
I mean, that's like that's
Yeah.
Child Protective Service.
Why were the basements so low in those houses in like Astor Park? They're only like maybe 5'8" the height.
Oh,
yeah,
the height of them?
it's a good question. I just don't. It's not something that they were probably looking to, put any usable space in. So why invest in the extra money?
I think when they first started, it wasn't something that it wasn't going to be. It was a lot of stone. You see a lot of old. It wasn't going to be rooms down there.
Right,
it was more for your utilities. The water wells were down there, and the whole,
cisterns and
So it was more for the utility of it. You didn't need high ceilings.
I like it though because I feel tall.
Yeah, I know. When I have to dump,
I have to scoop here.
Yeah, I always send Deanna down.
Yeah.
Go down there.
I know. There are some short ones.
Yes, they are. It's so much fun having you guys here. Ben and Deanna Malacourt. We just love having you guys down here. Bay Area Realty, located right in the corner of Walt. You pretty much own the block there between Broadway and
We
the
like to
bridge.
think so.
It's all yours. Oh. Although, you know what I love? When I walk that stretch, there's that one building. And again, you need to walk. I'm 90 years old. But I'm just learning this. You need to walk to really get to know and appreciate an area.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And there's in that one building just down from you guys, between you guys and the bridge, I looked up and in the cement, must have been built like when Model A's and Model T's.
Oh, they have the car in there.
Yeah. You noticed
That's
that?
an insurance building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an insurance building.
Have you ever read the plaque that's at the corner of that as well? Yeah.
There's some cool architecture.
Cool.
You'll never ever see that driving.
Yeah.
No,
And
right.
just go for a walk.
You don't take
and
it in.
These
No.
older neighborhoods and and
even a lot of those buildings on Broadway.
Yeah. And if you're in a neighborhood, people are very friendly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just
100%.
it's totally worth doing. So, all right.
Yeah.
Wow. Great stuff.
Yeah, it's been
Ben,
fun.
Thanks
Deanna,
for having
thank you
us.
so
Thank you
much.
very
Always
Yeah.
wonderful having
Enjoyed
you guys
it.
here. Bay Area Realty, give them a call. They are the best. We got to go. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody. See ya.